No, that's awesome. More
Yeah.
women need to do that.
No, seriously. And this other gym I go to that's like hardcore, it's like you go in there and take some classes and they're like, this girl's ready to sign up for a fight. Like they train me like crazy.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
The
I'm like,
MMA
I'm
or
just
something
doing
like
this for fitness
yeah.
stuff. I'm not trying to get knocked in the face.
You're like, I don't really want to do this.
I do want to spar. I do want to try that, but I don't know about like a real fight. But
Yeah.
you never know.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, you know, you might be capable.
I've become
of some.
kind of like
You're gonna get in
obsessed
there
with
one day-
boxing.
Yeah, you say you're gonna get in there
I'm
one
not
day and be
gonna
like,
lie.
okay,
Yeah.
I'm gonna do the next one.
I'll be on TV at the fight.
Bonfire banter. We're back. We got a live panel here tonight.
Are we starting?
They're excited. Here we go. We're started. Showtime. We're ready to go. We
We're
like to just
doing
jump
this.
in. It was filming for about 30 seconds before I called it there. So we got all that last little stuff. So anyways, we got a fitness episode on here tonight. We have Aaron for the first time coming out. Carraz?
Caress.
Because I know you by your maiden name more.
I know,
but
yeah. I was
I looked
saying.
at the spelling today. I'm like, I asked Jess, I'm like, how do you pronounce her last name? And I almost
I'm gonna
fucked it up
botch
there.
it.
I'm happy that I didn't. That was good. And you are in the wind blowing spot tonight. It looks like you're hitting the
am.
ash. It usually goes that way. I usually try to put the
Sorry.
males over there and let them deal with
Keeping
it.
me
but-
alive. That's
Yeah.
it.
So we have Steph Credidio out here as well tonight. Thank you so much for coming out.
Of course.
Absolutely. And what are you doing in the fitness industry right now?
So, I'm currently still doing fitness training, mostly group fitness. And I just got a new job, as I was telling you guys, at Mayweather Boxing and Fitness in River North. So
Beat people up. You're ready to for real. Yeah.
I show some people my videos who are like, wow, I'm
Yeah.
kind of scared of
We
you.
have a
I'm
head
like,
of security, Wes. He's not here tonight. And you might have to see if you could take his job. I don't know. Maybe
Yeah.
we'll bring you in as some backup security or something. Or just take his
Well,
job.
so I posted a few of like my boxing clips on my Instagram, and I'm like, maybe this is good. People won't mess with me.
Yeah.
Like, right?
Yeah, absolutely. You don't want to get beat up by like 5 foot tall chick. That's for sure.
Exactly. So I've stayed with fitness in that way, but
Okay.
then I also do social media management.
Yeah, absolutely. Plug your company really quick.
Yeah, so Socially Steph, it'll be 3 years this summer that I started it, and it's social media management and content production for real estate, fitness, and restaurant groups.
Hell yeah. We need some social media help too. So if you want to help for
I'm
free.
here.
Yeah.
I don't know about that free, but
Everything here right now is free. We don't pay for anything at the moment. Hopefully that changes someday. And then Danny, I was like looking at your last name on Facebook too, like Cola. I'm like, that's not his last name. Like, what the hell? I had to think about it for a second. Like Cola Pietro. Is
That's
that,
right.
Pronounce that correctly?
Oh.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Danny Cola Pietro. But the fitness brand and everything for the last 3 years has been Danny Cola Fitness.
Okay, so I didn't know if you were going by Cola. You just shortened it on. your
Nah,
own?
yeah, it's just easier. It's like,
Yeah.
you know,
It sounds tight.
yeah, Danny Cola.
Yeah.
That's it. Whatever. The nickname came up when I was a freshman in high school, so it's not
Okay.
like it's new or anything. It just never
Okay.
stuck on when I met you in college, I
Yeah.
guess. But, you know, I'm coaching in Park Ridge and teaching in Park Ridge, and I went to high school there, and everyone
Hell
knows
yeah.
me as Danny
You-
Cola.
Very recently opened his gym.
Yeah, 8 weeks ago. Today was my end of my 8 week, 2 months
Hell
in.
yeah,
Hell yeah. Thank
congratulations.
you.
Big news. That's good stuff.
Yeah, I mean, it's been like gradually morphing the last couple of years, you know, renting in different spaces and doing different types of seminars. And
Yeah.
like I was teaching high school before that while I was doing
Oh my
in-home
gosh.
teaching and coaching everywhere in all kinds of ways on the field, in, you know, in the classroom and on the
Yeah.
basketball court, whatever. But yeah, kind of morphed into this, you know, one-on-one small group, coaching athletes type business. And now I have my own gym with
So-
more of a holistic kind of philosophy.
Yeah, okay. Because I saw on your Facebook page too, for it was like optimizing human performance or something like that.
Yeah, it's, you know, it's just more of like total body optimization, you know, making sure that you're looking at exercise and fitness from a nervous system standpoint,
Yeah.
as opposed to just calories and weight loss, and diving a little deeper into what drives you, what, you know, how do you spend your time?
Yeah.
What do you like? What do you dislike? You know, what are some of your main goals? What are the things that you wish you could have done? You know, talk a little bit about those types of things. And, you know, that contributes to your wellness goals, whatever they are. You know,
Yeah.
I think we're all looking for happiness and connection and shit
Yeah.
more than just the weight loss. Cause
Yeah.
like, you know, 36, size 36, size 34,
Yeah.
whatever how you were
Yeah.
saying.
Yeah.
there's a lot to it. You know,
Yeah.
we're very complex. So I think I hit home on all those things in my philosophy.
Nice. And he's referencing my my waistline. We're talking about
No, listen, me too,
they
bro.
fluctuate. And I'm okay with saying it. I just I
You got those
fluctuate.
thunder thighs.
Yeah,
like,
believe me, it's
all
always
good.
good. I'm thick in the hips. You know,
I'm with you, dude. When I got married 4 years ago, I was a size 40 waist, and I had
Yeah.
to do that to fit my legs.
I was gonna say I know you've always had some
Oh,
big legs. He was a
wow.
kicker in
Yeah.
college. He was our kicker.
Okay.
That's how.
all right.
That's
He's
how
got
I met
giant
him.
legs.
I would say you always played football
Yeah.
too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But when I was
Yeah, we
kicking,
played in college. That's how I know him.
Okay.
but back then I was like 220 pounds easily, and you know I didn't really understand hip mobility or joint mobility in general. How do you prep for
Yeah.
kicking? How do you prep for a season? It's not
Yeah.
just regular weightlifting. There's so much more to it,
Yeah.
and you know. It drove me in this direction.
Yeah.
Lost way more body fat. You learn how different types of foods fuel you and all that. So like when I was kicking with you, dude, I was 220. Now I'm like sitting at 190.
Okay. Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So,
Solid at 190. Like,
yeah, feeling good,
feeling
move
good,
good. You know, I sleep nicely. It's just I feel better than
Yeah.
sitting at 220. Like I just didn't like that shit.
Yeah.
Bulky
No,
and my
I'm the
you know.
same. I want to be around like 195. I'm feeling like right under.
yeah. What are you like 5'8"?
5'9", yeah.
5'9", right?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. On a
So-
good hair day.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, this puts you up almost a 5'10" some days. Depends on how much stuff I put in it. So yeah.
Yeah, but yeah, you could look like a nice lean cuisine at 190. You know,
No, I
jacked
was.
and
I was
pants.
there like a couple months ago. I stopped drinking for 6 months. Yeah, dude. Trying to snack over here, dude. Shit. So, I think you
selling
could-
you or
and we'll go
something.
right into that. We'll go right into this lean cuisine.
No, this
You're
is
doing
good.
some meal prepping stuff,
See that?
and it's a nice
So,
transition.
I
So,
started my own meal prepping page on
Yeah.
Facebook.
I saw some of the stuff. It's
Meal
called,
prepping and
meal
fitness
prepping and
ideas.
fitness ideas. That's my cheat sheet. Don't call attention to that. No, that's the
Nobody
showbiz.
knows. I'm just looking
Those are
over
the
the side to get
showbiz
my
tricks.
idea.
Yeah.
You know, it's in the air.
Yeah. Don't give them all the secret shit.
This is only a couple episodes in, really.
Yeah.
But yeah, so I always meal
We are
prep.
31 episodes in, by the way, but go on.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
This
Meal
is time
prepping.
number 31. Yeah, so I started the meal prepping page
Yeah.
because I meal prep like almost every
Yeah.
week, at least try to, because that's the way that I achieve most of my goals.
Yes.
And I get so many people on my personal page that are like, oh my gosh, this is awesome. This is
Yeah.
great. So I'm like, who would like to see this more? Because I'm pretty sure the people on my personal page are done
Yeah.
seeing all this all the time.
Yeah.
Like, okay, Aaron, you can meal prep. This is
Yeah,
great.
we got it.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
But, you know, so I'm like, who's interested in this?
Yeah.
Because I would like to veer somewhere else.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
I actually got a ton of people who were like, me.
Yeah.
And so that's where we're at.
No, I think it's cool too. I looked at the page and I've been thinking about meal prepping for a while, and I've been eating a lot less like fast food and stuff lately, and trying to because I'm salesman, in-home salesman, so I'm like always on the road, and it's
Okay.
just a lot easier to just
Yep.
pull
Stop
over
somewhere.
and get Burger King or whatever the
Yeah.
hell.
Tastes good too.
Totally.
And yeah, it's just a convenience factor of the whole thing. But I need to start doing that, like the Tupperwares you got them in and shit.
Yep.
Like have it in my car and just be like snacking out of it, and driving and eating at the same time, which is a great
Then you
habit to have.
it. That's
Yeah.
that's why I enjoy it, because
Yeah.
it's like, all right, I don't have an excuse to go to McDonald's now.
Yeah.
I have the
It's
meal
right
here
here.
in front of me,
Yes.
ready to
No,
go. I
I-
just got to warm it up.
Yeah. It's being able to be creating delicious enough food though to keep yourself happy, I guess.
Yes.
And so you're
I would
not
say not
bored
being
and
boring.
shit.
Do you cook?
A little bit. I definitely do a little bit. Like I do a lot of grilling at my house. We kind of split the cooking kind of down the middle at my household. But
That's the
I got my
important piece.
specialties. I got a couple things I do. But yeah,
Yeah, that's the important piece. You got to have someone who cooks and makes, you know.
I don't
Good
love it
food.
though. I don't like love to cook.
I'm with you, bro. I fucking
you
don't
know?
like it at all.
Yeah, I'll do it, and I have to. I have a daughter too, so it's
Right.
like someone's got to feed her. Shit.
So
But-
like while you're, I talk about this with my wife all the time. It's like let's just make enough food for 2 days.
Yeah.
Pack it up. You know, once you figure out what
Yeah.
you like.
Yeah.
Because you eat like the same 10 things all the
I
time
pretty
anyway.
much do.
Right?
Yeah. I've gotten really into sweet potatoes lately, though.
Good.
Which I've heard is
Oh,
pretty
those
good.
are good.
How do you
Those
make
are
them?
real
Yeah.
Nice complex carb there.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
How do you make them?
Just been baking them with a little salt and oil on them and
It's
shit on
easy,
the
right?
outside. Clean them real good. I don't like that dirt, that grimy, earthy taste. But yeah,
It's good.
As far as the fitness thing, though, we'll get off of my diet right
It's
here.
part
at
of the
moment,
it's part of the equation, though.
It
Isn't
is. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, it's part of the
this
whole
is
thing.
all within the topic. This is great. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, do you guys really think someone could achieve their goals without the nutrition component? Because, like,
Not really.
you mentioned Jordan Syatt before. Remember, he
Yeah.
did that challenge thing with
Like
the
counting. I don't
Big
know. He
Macs
does-
or something.
Oh yeah, that's right. We did.
Oh, is
talk,
that the guy you're talking about?
Yeah, he did one Big Mac a day, and
It was
like
the fast food, or
Oh, that movie.
is that what it called? Like,
no.
Fitness
It's a real
trainer.
guy.
Yeah.
I know.
yeah.
It's not a documentary. It was like
on
the
in
one
high
we ate
school.
McDonald's
Super
every day.
Size
Yeah.
Me?
Super Size.
Well,
Yeah.
No, it's not.
That was from like 2000.
Gotcha.
Yeah, we all know that you eat that shit
You're
every
gonna die.
day, breakfast, lunch, and dinner.
Yeah.
You're gonna have some fucking problems,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah, there's gonna be big problems.
But Jordan Syatt, Gary V's personal trainer, did one Big Mac a day for 30 days and was like, dude, I lost weight. What the fuck? You know what I mean? So like his shtick is counting calories, doing his meal prep, calories in versus calories out. I mean, you got to do that shit.
Yeah.
It's
right?
simple math, and like a lot of people complicate it. You
Sure.
do not need to complicate it.
Yeah.
It is not a complicated thing at all whatsoever.
Yeah, and the guy ends up losing weight and doing his thing. The problem is that a lot of people are so out of balance, you know, and we're so used to our default systems all the time, and convenience,
Yep.
cheap, easy, eat in the fucking car, feel
Tastes so
good,
great,
tastes
too.
so good,
Oh, shit.
right? Do it again tomorrow, right?
Absolutely.
But like, if we want to think clear and have a good mood, you know, like there's
Yeah.
a relationship. And you asked, what was your question? It was like, do you think people could achieve their goals if they don't acknowledge the food piece to it? Or you got to understand what foods make you feel like when you're eating them, because it
Yeah.
contributes to
Right.
your mood, your energy levels, all sorts of shit.
Yeah.
Not just like inches. It's like
Right.
so much deeper than that.
Yeah,
We're so
makes sense.
complex.
I do believe though that it is about balance in some
Totally.
ways too, because like
100%.
I was at the gym last week and this girl approached me and she's like, "Steph, I gotta ask you, like, do you eat healthy all the time? Because you are like goals." And I was
God.
like, I'm like, actually, I just had Lou Malnati's pizza last night, and like,
Cheeseburger,
yeah, and so I just feel like what I told her actually was, it's all about balance, and then it's really all about like not only just having your nutrition on point and your fitness routine,
Yep.
but looking like you were talking earlier, just other areas in your lifestyle, like your friend group, who you surround yourself with. What are you consuming media wise? Are
Right.
you,
Huge.
consuming negativity?
Yeah, you're sitting
Oh, big time.
talking shit on Facebook all night long.
Right. And are you like having some depression things going? You know what I mean? Because that is all going to
Yeah.
100%.
play into an effect. No, you could have the perfect diet and the perfect fitness routine, and if
And you
something
can't go
else is
anywhere.
off,
Yep.
you're still not
Stress
gonna.
can- I mean, stress can keep weight on you
Exactly.
too, right? I mean,
Oh,
you guys
yeah.
know,
bro.
That's a bit.
Yeah.
That's one of the biggest reasons
Totally.
people don't lose weight
Yeah.
is because of stress.
Yeah.
Or what else?
And that's
Anything else like besides stress? If the diet and then fitness is on point,
I think another big one is like how much water and sleep. Like sleep is a superpower. If you can, I always talk about like, yo, what was your last like 9-10 days of sleep like? Like,
That's true.
go back the last 9-10 days and see if you're waking up periodically, you're having trouble going back to bed 2 or 3 o'clock in the morning. You do this shit all the time. Then you got to wake up at 5. Then let's say at work, you're a little bit more pressure.
Yep.
All that stuff plays a
It
role.
all
And then,
does,
how you communicate with people. What's that like?
Yeah.
Shit, if that's a shitstorm all day, like your
do you
nervous
hate
system.
your job that you're in all day
Yeah.
long?
It's
and-
nervous system
right,
health, right?
exactly. So you're miserable and unhappy, and you're drawing those negative energies. And
Yes.
that's not going to get you anywhere.
and kind of to your point earlier, is why did you get out of education? Because that's what we went to school for. I'll
Yeah.
kind of let you tell your story, but what
dude.
got you out of that? Or kind of not wanting to hate your life?
Well, listen, I love teaching.
Yeah.
Like that's where I feel my podcasting, and then and also when I'm teaching lessons, seminars, when I'm connecting with people, it's my favorite. Like I don't know you guys, but I like this stuff. I get fucking excited for it.
Yeah.
So like I love the teaching aspect. It just got so political. Like you always have to like watch what you say, and there's always like somebody like breathing over your neck, rating you and this and that. And then when I realized that like they know who they want to hire, they know who they're making their moves for, premeditated. It doesn't matter how good you are, how good of a coach you are, what kind of connection you make. That none of that shit matters. How what other extracurriculars you provide, what good ideas. None of that shit matters.
Yeah.
They all have an agenda, more or less. Now, I'm really generalizing. Some schools are good, some schools are not so good. But from my experience in 6 years, it was just like, from school to school, the same kind of thing. And I never really found a place that I really wanted to grow. And the one that I did want to grow at, like it just didn't work out. And I didn't realize like the structure. I'm like, oh shit, you got to be quiet for 4 years until you get tenured. And then you open your mouth and then you say you want to change this. But I was always asking the questions right away. It's like, hey, why are we doing it this way? It's so counterproductive.
Like, shut
the
up.
kids don't like it. We don't like being here. No one's learning anything. There's all this kind of makeup work that has to get done. It's like, it doesn't make sense. So why do we keep moving forward this way? And then, you know, I get myself into trouble because I'm just trying, and I didn't know. I'm like, that's just ignorance on my end. This is the political way of that industry. So that's what I didn't like about it.
Yeah.
So I know that I have the skill. I know that I can teach. I know I can connect. And the market will tell you otherwise.
What did you teach?
PE, health, and driver's ed.
Okay.
Yeah.
And I was going to school originally for education
Were
in
you?
PE. Yeah. And then I switched to communications.
Okay.
So
Why'd you get out of it?
I was trying to avoid anything with math for number one.
Math.
Yeah, I was like anything because I actually when I transferred schools, I wanted to do kinesiology.
Yeah.
But then I just thought the
I'm
curriculum
not
would
going
not
through
be
that.
really
Yeah,
of interest.
exactly.
So I went into communications and I'm glad I did. But yeah,
It seems like it worked out for the best.
it did.
Yeah.
But now as a business owner, it's like everything is math. So
Yeah.
But I will say,
Who's doing your books?
Right.
I will say though, like having the perspective though.
let me plug.
If you're out there right now and you know how to do books and you're good at math, Steph needs some help.
Have you messed with QuickBooks? It's really easy.
Yeah.
Yeah, QuickBooks is
I use Square.
Square, and they have like the same kind of technology.
Yeah, similar. Well,
Yeah, they're
no,
all
not,
kind of really. Yeah, I would say they're all. kinda
QuickBooks, from my experience, you know, like I'm still learning the software, and it takes a long time to learn the software
Yes.
and make adjustments from how you did it prior. But I'm from experience, like the more you force yourself to put it in a better like way to make
Right,
it easier on
optimize
you,
and-
because then if it's easier on you, then you could put yourself in a creative space easier, and then ideas come, and your next thing you know, you're doing podcasts and bringing people together.
Right.
But if you're constantly thinking about like, oh shit, my numbers, which it drags down on you, it's a lot,
Yeah.
and it gets busier. You want to be busier, you make more money, like you more people will start talking about you, and you need help. Everyone needs help, and fuck.
Right.
But you know, you got to force yourself to just figure out easier ways so you can sit yourself in creative space.
Yeah.
You know.
I agree.
So as far as the kind of fitness that you're teaching and the stuff that you do, you said you're at the gym now with the boxing stuff.
Yeah.
What were you doing before that when you were at Midtown? Was it because it wasn't boxing related, right?
Yeah, so I mean, my experience really dates back from being at Core Power Yoga to then LA Fitness and then to Midtown and then now the new job with Mayweather. But I'm still with Midtown. So I teach group fitness. At one point too, I actually rented space myself because I created my own class called Elevate.
Okay.
And it's a group fitness, strength and conditioning with dance cardio.
Oh, cool.
And so I was renting space in Elmhurst doing that for a short while. But I launched both businesses at the same time. So I launched Elevate
Jesus.
and Socially Steph.
Oh,
In the
okay.
same month, I made $1,500 off both. And then I went on a trip to New York and I really realized that I loved, because I love traveling. It's like my everything.
Yeah.
So I was like, I love being in New York and not being tied down to a space. So I kind of was just like, I'm not going to pursue that.
Yeah.
And right before the pandemic hit, actually, the gym owner who owned, because I was renting space out of a pre-existing gym,
Oh,
and
okay.
she wanted to sell me her studio space. The rent was crazy. It was like $4,000 a month.
Oh, I'm sure.
And so, like, I was so excited when I first was talking to her about it.
Yeah.
Because she's like, I could just so see you branding this, like, Elevate and, like, have it be your, identity.
Yeah.
And oh my gosh, thank God I did not do anything with that because it was like literally March of last year.
Yeah. That was
Yeah.
a tough time to be starting something brand new.
Right.
At that point.
Yeah, really.
Especially
really.
group exercise.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like it's just starting to like build back up. Like you get away with the one-on-ones and you do all that and that's great. But like when it comes to like in the beginning, it was very hostile, right? Can't have more than 6 people and 4 people in a space.
Yeah.
Mask
whatever,
on,
mask
right?
on, double mask, whatever the rules are.
Complicated.
Double
Right,
mask.
and
I
it-
think it's like up to triple mask now. I think is
Well,
the
like
new standard.
college
Is that what
too.
Colin said?
Yeah, Colin said
We're
he's got
almost
a.
there.
Yeah.
We're almost
We're getting
there.
Colin on the episode here in a little while, but he's got some people wearing triple masks out there, just in case.
Hey,
Just in
listen, whatever they want to do. Listen, we got.
Yeah, that's
Exactly.
good.
Let it be their
Be
choice.
safe.
That's
Whatever you're
fine.
happy
Yeah.
with. We said happiness because if you're not happy,
not
then you
judging.
get stressed, and then you get fat, and then you're fluctuating. It's like so. You gotta be careful.
Summer
It's a
bond to
slippery
winter bond. What
It's a
the heck?
slippery slope. Gotta be careful. out here. Okay, so we do got this, and as we're saying, be careful. The axe doesn't have a guard. You guys are going to sign this, so be careful with it, though. Don't chop your feet off. Don't chop my toes off. I have no shoes on.
You're like, please
Careful.
don't.
Yeah. I'm grounding. I'm grounding right now. I don't know if you guys are aware, but you're missing out on a bunch of free energy right now. So
Do you feel better when
You're
you do that?
staying super grounded.
I like.
I love it.
Listen, I'm not grounding right now, and I don't do it a lot, but when I do,
Yeah.
it's fucking nice. Like especially in the morning.
yeah.
Do you wake up at like 4 or 5 a.m.? Or?
Hell no.
Oh,
No. I
Wait,
wake
so
up and
tell
see this-
us about this grounding
Grounding,
thing.
I don't know if there's anything to it. I always kind of make a joke about it, but I do like to be barefoot. Like it's my preferred method of walking around.
I'm with you on that.
But there is some science behind saying there's like electrons that are passed through the earth that are from like thermal energy, however that
oh
works.
yes,
that
get
you
me
could,
going there.
Yeah, that I'm getting some free energy through my feet right now.
Love that. Need help?
Yeah,
I
I love walking barefoot. I'm
Yeah.
pretty
We
sure
don't
I
want
always
to chop
walk
anything
barefoot.
off.
There's definitely a lot of room in the yellow area, but it's a little bumpy, so you gotta be good with it.
I'm gonna sign it as socially Steph.
There you go.
There you
Do it,
go.
plug it. It'll be forever advertising on the act.
So when's the Socially Steph podcast start?
I don't know,
Because that
That's
seems
a-
like
that's in a
Socially Steph would
holding.
definitely have a podcast. Because
Yeah.
right?
right.
See, we'll run a podcast for you,
There.
and then you do all our social media.
Oops.
See how this works?
There you go.
See, Justin, here's the problem.
What do you
When
say?
you say we,
Yeah.
I literally, it's just me. No ifs.
Why do you think it was so easy for me to say it? I was like, yeah. We'll
we
produce
got
it
it.
for you. We'll
Yeah,
do
you
it.
know, no issues at all. It's just, yeah, we're good. We're good.
No, we're good. Oh, that's fun.
Get that sucker away.
Good time. You sent it already?
I did sign it. Yeah.
Okay, we're good. I'm good to go here.
No, but podcasting is so fun, man. It's like it's a great way to connect with people because
Yeah.
you wouldn't otherwise do it, and like we're all a giant concoction of the people we surround ourselves with, whether
Absolutely.
we like it or not. We're
Yeah.
always taking in that energy, like you're saying, from the ground or from people,
Yeah.
right? And like whether you like it or not, you're taking in the shit from your mom and your dad and your brother and the people who bullied you in school and all the people who liked you too. Like you're taking in shit from them,
Yeah.
and that's you. That's the soup you are now.
Yeah.
Shit.
The soup. I like
Yeah.
that.
And I like listen, I just want to make better soup.
Yeah.
Wait, so what about energy?
There's the soup.
Do you believe that you have to have super good energy to be a gym owner or to function with a gym?
No, I think there's plenty of shitty people who own gyms. I mean, no, you worked at LA Fitness, right? Think about like the variety of people who've worked that you've seen over your career, right? Some good, a lot good, some bad, and they've been successful.
But see, I did
Yes
group
and no.
fitness, so I was in and out.
Oh.
You know what I mean? I
Well,
was like
I've come across so many great people. Don't get me wrong, but throughout your career, you meet people that are just like, "Are you serious?"
Yeah.
And then, but they're still successful. Like,
Yeah.
and what's success, right? That's
Yeah,
a
that's-
very it's
Yeah,
a very
that's a
broad
vague,
term,
yeah.
right?
Yeah,
Success
it's
can be a
like
lot of
kind of
things,
thing, yeah.
Yeah.
but can they pay their bills being a trainer and still be kind of a shitty person? There are people out there,
Yeah.
right?
There's other shitty people want to get trained, and sometimes that's like energy, and they're looking for an asshole guy to train them because
Listen, at the end of the day, Justin,
guy reminds me of myself.
tell me what you think about
Train
this.
me, asshole.
At the end of the day, I think everything you encounter is just a mirror of you at the end of the day, a reflection of you somehow, some way.
That's some deep shit there.
It is
I like
That's
that.
Well, what are your
super deep.
thoughts?
Are we here
About-
for fitness?
About what you just said there? Yeah.
I love that. I want to
What
go
are your
off on
thoughts?
that
Okay,
tangent.
yeah, let's
She's
go.
like,
Okay, so
no.
what I'm saying is everything that's happening around you, and this is tough stuff. This is
Yeah.
deep
Yeah.
psychology stuff.
Yeah, no.
So like,
I'm into it.
if I'm just saying everything around you is just a mirror reflection of your internal showing itself somehow, some way.
Because you're
surrounding
creating
yourself,
you're
yeah.
surrounding yourself with
Your
that's making
energy,
you
yeah,
happy, and
exactly.
you're bringing stuff in and out of
Or
you
not
without-
so happy
Yeah.
subconsciously.
Yeah.
Because we do this all the time. Like
Yeah.
a lot of the traumas we don't acknowledge end up manifesting somehow, some way, and we don't see it. It's in our
Yeah.
rear, it's our blind spot or whatever.
I watch Grey's Anatomy. I know something about this.
Dude, Grey's
Yeah.
Anatomy. Tell me what your thoughts, because it gets really intense. My wife watches it at nighttime, and
Yeah.
I'm like sitting there.
It's hard to watch with kids too,
It's
man. I have
very,
a
like-
daughter.
Yeah.
I'm like, oh my
Talk about
god, like
stress
crying at
killing.
these episodes and shit. People were walking in the room.
Yeah, exactly. You're like
Something
sitting
in
there
my eye.
crying. Almost every episode, I'm pretty
Yeah.
sure I
Yeah.
cried.
Can you
but-
imagine?
Yeah,
like
it's brutal.
So what about like Chicago Med or
I don't watch
Chicago
any
PD?
of those.
No.
I got pulled into Grey's Anatomy,
Yeah,
and I
exactly.
didn't
I
even
was
want to
done.
get tied in, but it was just on all the time.
can't let
And
go, right?
Now I'm invested.
Now you're sucking
Then-
I'm
in.
invested in these
But-
characters. I
but
can't
then-
stop watching.
They also incorporated COVID in the whole thing
Oh,
too.
I kind of hate how much they're leaning on it, but they're in a hospital.
They
I
have
guess
to
you
do
gotta
it.
like talk about it.
They have to.
But
You
yeah.
have to make it relatable.
Yeah, no, it makes sense,
You know?
and it's an easy thing to like storyline off of. It's like in the news.
Do you
everyone's
watch
talking about
This Is
COVID.
Us?
I don't.
These
'cause again, I don't
dramatic
love to
fucking
cry, but
shows,
yeah.
dude. They're so intense and
Yeah.
they make me so stressed out. And I don't even watch them. Like I watch them like for a little bit.
I just see the posters. and I
Okay,
get that.
I watch them
See
for
the
a little
ads and
bit,
I
like
cry.
a 20-minute stretch, you know, before it starts watching me at nighttime because I pass the fuck
Oh,
out.
yeah.
Wake up at 5 in the morning, whatever. I'm just there. It's a nighttime passing. She likes these shows. I'm watching them, and it's so intense. And I'm just like, I can't do this to my nervous system right now.
Leave the TV on with those shows. Have you ever like had a dream where you were in some
No.
fucking emotional fucked
Never.
up scenario? No, I thought I don't leave the TV on at night, man.
No, I don't know.
I'm like
Oh,
mine
no,
incorporates
I
stuff from the
cannot,
TV
yeah.
don't
and
like-
starts to fucking
Yeah.
be a weird mess. So yeah, I don't like that.
Yeah.
Try to stay away from the
Do you
weird
meditate though? You do the grounding. Do you meditate?
No, and the grounding thing is half because I like the way it
He's
feels.
like,
on my
"That's where I
feet, and half
go."
is, like I actually kind of believe it, or try to make a make light of it. I don't meditate. I've tried some stuff like that. I don't know. I think it does help. I try to like when I'm in the shower every morning, kind of like just think through my day and like plan stuff out and kind of like visualize stuff, like what I'm going to be doing
Okay.
throughout the day. I think kind of helps me.
Yeah, because you're a creative
But
guy. You're putting all this together.
Straight
It's
up
great.
like meditating, I don't, but I do see the value in it. Like to sit there and meditating to you, because I think I did it in some classes and shit when we were in college for the PE degree. We did some meditation stuff, but to like when you're meditating, are you trying to clear your mind? Are you trying to focus on something, or what is that?
Very simple, just awareness to breath. So like,
Okay.
just think about the breathing going up and down, and that's
Okay.
it. Like that's what's
pretty much it.
happening.
You're just
and
focusing on that.
yeah, and naturally thoughts pop up. Right? What am I doing today? What am I going to eat? What what's my daughter doing? Whatever. What am I doing? What's my schedule like? And the idea is just to redirect the awareness to the breath
Yeah.
and just work that
Keep
muscle.
pushing that out.
Right?
and keep-
Oh, other thoughts pop up, redirect it. Other
Redirect
thought,
it, yeah.
redirect it. That's all.
Gotcha.
That's it. And then at some point, when you get really good at this, you turn your nervous system into a calming state, right? More or less. You turn it into a nice and calm state. And then if after a while you just let yourself go, let your mind go.
Yeah.
And then there, I feel like, because I feel like I've been doing this for 3 years, and then this is what starts happening. The ideas start flowing, and then you got to get good at capturing them, writing them, putting them in notes. But I think that's where the powerfulness of meditation comes in.
Okay.
It's either good ideas or like shit that pops up that you're like, I have to bring light to this, or else it's gonna fucking kill me.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
And when you crush all those things, then the good ideas come, and then the fear
it's
of
like a way of like refreshing your energy.
for sure.
Yeah.
And
For
like
sure.
staying
And it takes
present,
time.
Yes,
right?
it does.
It takes time
yes.
to practice
Makes
that
sense.
stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You just
You get what I'm saying?
yeah.
Do you
like-
meditate every day?
Sounds like you kind of know a little bit about this stuff, yeah?
Me? Yeah, I know a lot about meditation.
Do you practice? What's your experience like?
You know, I feel like I haven't gotten into a good meditation in a long time because I think like at the end of a yoga class, right? Like sometimes they'll do that.
Shavasana.
Yeah.
It's the
Yeah.
best.
And you can like really feel yourself kind of just drifting and
and just yeah,
Just,
relax.
like zoned out.
Yeah.
I think that's when I'm truly like in my meditation.
You sure?
But I
So-
don't do it often and not
Oh.
enough.
Yeah, it's a non-negotiable. Like for
Really?
me anyway.
Every day.
Like I miss days. I'm human. Like I'm in a rush sometimes, but like I've been doing
How
it.
long?
So I'm into the Fibonacci sequence, 369,
Okay.
right? Nikola Tesla, the numbers 369. You guys,
I'm not familiar with
You're not
that.
familiar?
Not
I've heard
familiar.
of
like
that. I've
vortex
seen it, yeah.
math. It's like a pattern that you see in nature all the time, and
Yeah.
then the dimension,
Spirals and
the
stuff,
spiral,
yeah.
right? The numbers that are basically the numbers that govern reality in the cosmos are 369 because of this doubling sequence. I don't want to go too much into it, but anyway, how long did you meditate? We can't get off that topic, right? I put
Because we
That's where we
know.
started. That's where we
that's where we started. So let's not get drift too
Talking
far.
cosmos, I love it. This is
Okay,
Bring yourself back.
bring it back.
Yeah.
Right? I do it for 9 minutes and 45 seconds because they're intervals of
Weird.
9.
Okay.
Okay, and
Oh, okay.
9 is the
That makes
divine.
sense.
Why is it the divine? Because every time you double it, it's itself. 9 times 1, 9. 9 times 2, 18. But the digital root, 1 plus 8, is 9.
That's why you
Now,
do the thing on
9
your
times
hands, but
3.
it's always-
Right. It's always back to 9, which represents symbolically an omnipresence to everything being everything. This is why the mirror, everything outside is in you, right? It's just symbolically
Yeah.
a number that represents omnipresence. So when you ask me how long I do it for, I do it for 9 minutes and 45 seconds. And today,
Morning, night.
in the morning, before I go to work. And I also do a cold shower, which I swear by.
Cold shower,
Cold shower,
yeah.
3 minutes.
I hyperventilate, dude. If it's like, below like
it is hard.
like
It is.
Okay.
it's gotta be like scalding hot.
Hold me here.
It's like cool. I'm like
Hold on. All right, going back.
breathing shit.
Going back to the breathing and the meditation, right? And the powerfulness of the mind.
Yeah.
Right? In the cold, you can change your internal chemistry with your brain.
Yes.
And the cold shower simulates chaos in a controlled setting. You're in control.
I like this.
Right?
Sounds
So
good.
you go in, you pour
Like the cryo.
the cryo tank,
Yeah.
whatever. But you do this at home. Cryotherapy, $90 a session. Get the fuck out of here. Right? Hey, bring it back to me. Bring it back to me. The cold shower, right?
Yeah.
Okay. You stay in your house and
How
you
do you
work.
even do this?
You work up to 3 minutes and you just redirect and you force yourself to stay. And it's very powerful.
We used to do ice baths in football.
Sure.
so-
Oh, we used to do them
yeah.
together. That's why we
shit's
bond
nuts,
so
yeah.
well.
Yeah.
You know what I'm
Nude,
talking
too.
about.
Fully nude.
No.
We
Anyway.
had shorts on.
But
The story would be better if
Calm
we were
down,
nude. though. Yeah. The story would be better if we were nude.
I do really feel like it's a very good practice for your nervous system, right? And when you can do that, when you can really practice the mind to be calm as fuck in cold ass water, it's very powerful when you're in a situation that's chaotic
Yeah.
and you need to force yourself to be calm and still in the moment. You know where I learned this from? Really? Practicing
that?
kicking.
Okay, that makes
All
sense.
the time.
Yeah.
It forced me to be like in the moment. And
Yeah.
you were there when I kicked my first ever field goal
Yep.
in that practice spring game.
Oh, we were
Dude,
all.
everyone's yelling,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
Me and Andrew Shine, who I see, by the way, lives down the street from me. I love that kid. Very good guy. Anyway, that moment, like, I want those moments all the time.
Yeah.
All the time. I want those moments. I chase those moments because it's something so pure that you can't mimic anywhere else. And I try to, like, duplicate that in my life.
Yeah, I noticed that after we stopped playing football and stuff, is like you need that competition in your life. Like
You need something to, like,
Yeah.
really make you feel whole and complete, but
Yeah.
also, like, fuel you the fuck up,
Yeah.
right?
And there is something about the adrenaline of like, again, like a moment like that. Like at the end of these practices before the season, basically for the kickers, like the big thing was at the end and they'd have them go against each other and you line up the entire team like behind you in like a U shape and we're just screaming and trying to throw them off and stuff like that. So
yeah, which is
one of those-
great because
oh, yeah.
that's what a stadium
Dude, it's
is.
the
Yeah.
best, dude. It was the
just-
best fucking experiences ever. I chase them all the
zone
time.
it
But the
out.
point is, back to the cold shower, redirecting of the breathing.
Yeah.
Let's bring this all the way
Redirect
back.
this. Let's bring it back.
Bring it all the way back here.
I'm ready for it.
It's just powerful for the nervous system for you to practice that because then in
Yeah.
life, when shit hits the fan, which it always does inevitably, whether it's whatever it is you're doing in your life, business, relationships, family,
yeah.
you're able to get calm, relax, and get centered to make the move that's best for everybody in the situation.
Yeah, it's like there's an equation E plus R equals O, which is there's an event, there's a reaction, and then there's an outcome. Nobody's going to be able to control the event, but you can control the outcome by how your reaction is to
Yeah.
the event. So if you can react to the event, like you're saying, come back to and get yourself to that point, you can make your outcome a lot better.
But this
as
takes a
opposed to
lot. It takes a lot of practice,
flying
and
off the handle.
yeah, for sure. And I relate this to like lifting weights. You're not gonna
It's
just
a learned skill. Yeah.
You're just not going to lift 400 pounds on a bar, right?
Yeah.
You're not going to just run 26 miles on one stint,
No.
you're right? You're not going to just do this
But you
in one.
could.
Eventually, with practice, dedication,
Yeah.
time, but it's the day-by-day thing. Every single day, it's a non-negotiable. It's,
pattern.
part of your
Yeah.
Consistency.
part of your consistency thing.
Yeah,
So, like with your
100%.
page and all that, and like
Yep.
getting to that point, was there like how do you schedule your time and your day to make sure you have time for your kids and your page and your business and all that stuff? How do you do that?
I just make sure that I'm on there a couple times a day. And
Okay.
it's okay. I get up in the morning. I do my morning routine. As soon as I get my breakfast and stuff, I'm like, okay, I'm going to do 5-10 minutes on my page here. Do that. Okay, now it's time to sign on to work.
Yeah.
When I start my lunch break, same thing. Get my lunch, get it all set up. Couple minutes, do that. Set it on my page and go from there. You know, it's just a
Non-negotiable.
concept.
Just do
Yes,
it.
it's you have to do it. You have to keep up for it. Not only for everybody else, but for yourself. I mean, that's a big part of it
Yeah.
because you're also motivating yourself as you're motivating other people to continue to do it.
Does and this is what fucks me up a lot of times too. Does the likes and the views, does that get you up or down? Like, does that play a role in your psychology when it comes to posting or not posting, or I don't feel like it right now, but I got to do it? Like, because that fucks with me a lot. What about you?
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, there's times where you're like, what? I just made this amazing dinner and I posted it and not one person liked it. You're
Yeah.
like,
Right.
what?
It's a
I did
little
all this work, but then at the
deflating,
end of
yeah.
the moment, I think to myself, but nobody else is eating this meal but you. So
Yeah.
are you happy with this?
Yeah,
Because
there
I
you go.
am. So that's
Yeah.
what it is, And it's like, you know, I don't know. You shouldn't have to have somebody else's
Yeah.
Validation for
Validation.
parking only.
Yeah,
me
you
out.
shouldn't. You know,
It's tough. It's tough.
true.
I've been telling a lot of people that one lately.
That's a good
It
one.
is.
Yeah.
I mean, it's
'Cause it's true.
raw. You're not going to get it from somebody else. Like if you're looking for somebody else to continuously be on the
Yeah.
sidelines and like, congratulations, you
Oh,
made your
no.
dinner tonight and didn't go out to
Yeah.
eat. You're like, it's not going to happen.
Yeah, you got to remember the reasons why you started it in the
Yes.
first place.
Yeah.
What
It was
is
to
your
help people.
reason?
Yeah.
If there's one person that
One
watches
person.
Bonfire Banter and goes, I watch it every week, like we'll keep doing it. You know, it's like
Right.
just to know like when we're reaching people, like helping people out, it's the same thing with what you're doing. It's
Yeah.
like you know that there are people paying attention to that though, and that's why you originally started the page.
Yes.
You know, and that's what
Because
kind of
humans, I think we naturally have this. We want to add value to people. Like we just know we're part of tribes. Like we want to help one another intrinsically. Like it's just part of our DNA. And when it comes to happiness, because we're talking about happiness, I feel a lot has to do with doing stuff for other people, which was why I was fulfilled teaching, but not within the confines I was doing it. You know what I'm
Right.
saying? Like I'm very fulfilled doing the teaching, and I'm fulfillment, happiness, wholeness. It's like what we're all trying to achieve. And it's hard when society or systems are doing things for the wrong reasons and not the best interest in people.
Yeah.
You feel me?
Yeah.
So
Absolutely.
like I think we're in this like changing time where I think more people got to talk about this type of shit.
Yeah.
Like what really is important.
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
No, but you're right, and I feel like that's a lot of the reason why we even started this show was for us. It was we're getting sick of seeing people on Facebook just like all this negative energy, hating each
Oh,
other, and
gosh,
saying like,
yeah.
it was my good friend and my uncle, and they were pretty much they've known each other their entire lives, you know, or for at least a long time, and they were talking like forget you know me kind of stuff like that kind of like and just
on
putting-
Instagram or on Facebook.
Facebook.
So like
We started this because of that. We wanted to get them live in front of each other because we know that when you sit down like this,
It's
people
different.
don't talk that way.
right. It's different.
Because you're not behind a
Treat
screen.
people with respect, and you fucking
and yeah.
Have the conversation. Are like you listen to Sam Harris ever?
no.
He talks about our ability to reason needing to be on point and our ability to have communicate or like proper communication and discuss things at a level to where we can reason because we can't just shout from the rooftop and like that be it.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like
Yeah.
it gets nowhere. Like you're just expressing some sort of trauma, like not trauma or like something that's bothering you when you're screaming from there. But if there's a legit problem, I think that's awesome. Let's try to get them together and let's work this out because, you know, you get called out in your shit and you get humbled and that be that. You know,
and you
we
start
grow.
that was the whole point. It was like once you actually sit down, you have these conversations that take things like inflection of voice and tone and facial cues to have these big conversations that people are fucking just sitting and typing out sarcasm and all that stuff is missed.
Totally.
Yes,
You're on
well,
a
that's what. Yeah,
keyboard.
like a lot of people think this is what you're made of. Oh, because I'm saying this statement, that's just exactly who I am.
Now I know exactly
100%.
everything about you because
And you're
you
like, you don't know me
that
at
drives
all
me
because I made a
crazy.
comment.
Yeah.
Yes,
People all the time will misperceive people's posts, right? Or like,
100%.
you know, like someone who, like you just said, like we all want to help, right?
Yeah.
So sometimes I'll post things that are just like, I like this content or I have something to say that I just find valuable. It doesn't necessarily always mean, right, that it's like a part of me and my life.
Yeah.
You know, like,
absolutely.
and people will just think and question me about like, is this about you? Or like, are you okay? What's going on? I'm like,
I'm just
no, I'm just
yes.
naturally, I'm
know
into
exactly what you're saying.
You're
philosophy,
expressing yourself.
psychology.
You don't have to fucking tell anybody else anything else. You're
Right.
expressing yourself.
Yeah, 100%.
Straight up.
But people don't get that.
I like that.
They immediately attack you for it.
Exactly.
Because I
But that's
posted
the
a
problem
quote,
with
you think
social
I'm getting a
media.
divorce now, and
Yeah.
it's like this has nothing to do with it.
And you start to categorize
It was
too.
just good. Like, well, you know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
this has nothing
That's
to do
what
with
I'm
anything
saying.
attached to anything. This
Yeah.
is just simply one moment in time where I'm liking it, or this means something. You know?
Right?
You know, like we get these distractions, and I sometimes think we take shit so seriously, but like the folks that are talking shit, doing all that type of weird stuff, like I sometimes just feel like their life isn't that hard. They're just finding shit to complain
Yes.
about, finding shit to gripe about, and
Yep.
you know, it's fueling them for their insecure way or whatever it is. Like, you know, we all could be guilty of doing it, but as
Yeah,
long
we
as
all have bad days.
as long as we recognize that shit and we don't do it anymore and develop some sort of like frequent pattern that gets us out of those shitty habits, then
Negative energy
you
draws
stay away
negative
with it.
energy.
Exactly.
does.
And then you start to manifest things that you're vibrating towards. Talk
Stuff
about
that
energy.
is like,
Yep.
yeah.
Believe that shit 100%.
Absolutely.
Oh
you know?
yeah.
And it's important too, just to always. And I know there was a guy, I think it was Piaget, but it was like levels of thinking when I was in, a school, and it was like basically critical thinking was the last level, but being able to look at yourself and put yourself in other people's shoes, and like that kind of like empathy and stuff that comes along with that is so important to understand that like everybody else has got stuff going on too, and you get into some kind of argument with somebody or something else like that, it's like you don't know how their day just went. You don't know if this is like they need to fucking release some frustration and it's happening on you in the fucking grocery line or something else. But I think being aware that everyone's going through shit and
Or also awareness of like, social media in general, right? A lot of people will tend to just post like a lot of people do post positive stuff, right? Like highlights of their
There's a lot of
day.
good
like
that
what
comes
they're
from it.
doing.
Networking. There's a lot of good
It's
ideas.
families.
There's amazing, things that come from social media, but I do feel like people can kind of pinpoint you as like, so someone who, I'm a naturally optimistic person and I try really hard to always focus on the good. That doesn't mean
That's
that I
great.
haven't gone through certain things in
You
my
have your
life,
days,
right? We're all
exactly. You
human.
have
Yeah,
your
yeah, yeah.
moments.
No one, is
Right.
like
You're
no one is
human.
subject to broadcast every,
Waking second.
right, in part of their life.
Yep.
So like I feel that social media can tend to highlight people in one way and you're still being authentic and being yourself. But then other people just naturally think like, oh, wow, your business is booming, Steph. Oh my God, it seems like you're doing great. Like I get messages like this all the time. Oh my God,
It's a
you
lot of hard work.
you look
Put in
amazing.
time.
Like everything looks like it's going good. I'm like, yeah, but you have no idea that I literally work every hour of the day.
Right.
Every hour.
I see
Even
that
when I'm
every
on
night.
even when I'm
constantly doing
traveling,
this,
I
yeah.
have not gone on vacation in 2 years. Like
Hey.
time off.
There are people built for that journey, and there are people that are not.
Right. But I'm just saying, like, social media as a consumer, you can consume someone who's maybe an entrepreneur or a business owner, right? And you would maybe think those things, but you only see those little 2 seconds of their
Yeah.
story or the
Sure.
little post
There's
that they
way more
publish.
behind. Of course,
Yeah.
we're
Right.
complex, 100%.
Right. But not everyone gets that.
Yeah, but you know what I have to say to them? Fuck them. I'm serious. Like you can't if you.
Oh, true. I don't
as an
care at
entrepreneur,
all.
Like I like to say, make like Taylor Swift, shake it off, whatever.
Make like Taylor Swift.
Because
I like
Let's-
that.
we
here's
gotta
the
put
thing,
that
too,
on now.
Justin. I'll tell you something. No matter how fucking careful you are, people will still
Oh,
talk
yeah.
shit.
Oh yeah.
No matter how careful you. So just be you authentically.
Well,
that's
that's
it.
exactly it. Not everybody's gonna love you, and that's
Exactly.
the part that you need to get.
And if
past.
they do, that's actually a big problem,
yeah,
right?
Whatever, bro.
If everyone's loving you,
Yep.
then
Yeah.
you're not challenging.
Yeah. That and if everyone's just saying good things to you, I feel like that's kind of not
You don't
really.
need
Fluff.
It's like
constructive
someone's
criticism.
yeah,
is
exactly.
right.
We're
Come on,
human.
tell me the real
We're
deal.
human.
Yes.
Everything's dual. We
Yeah.
have a spectrum, dude. We're not all fucking rainbows and sunshines all the time. That's why we meditate.
But what keeps you
Yeah.
on your toes? Those moments where somebody's
Yeah.
where you tripped up and
Yeah.
you're like, oh, you
Someone
called me
tells
out
you-
on it.
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah,
here we are.
yeah.
So I was gonna see. We're gonna try to get Colin in here. Is it okay if you jump up for a
Sure,
little while?
yeah.
And we'll see how it keeps going. If anyone has to leave, then we'll jump you back in.
Bring
but,
it in, Colin. How we doing?
Thank
on
you. Yeah.
Thank you, Aaron.
It was going because the coat. It's okay. But thank you again. We really appreciate you coming out. So yeah.
Thank you for having me.
Is this your coat?
Yeah, sure is.
Okay. I'll keep it. Yeah. So Colin here is jumping on the panel. And Colin's been on before, so thank you, Colin, for coming back out.
Try not to ruin another pair of shoes.
Yeah. So yeah, what was that again? Here, get that one in the mic. Yeah.
I try not to ruin another pair of shoes.
Yeah.
I think I still see some in my soul.
Yeah. There's a little bit of rubber still left on there from the last time we were out
last
here.
time we were here, and I was trying to warm my feet up.
The 2 episodes that Colin has been on were the 2 worst weather episodes that we've ever had. And he was on both of them. And one of them, we were like, had 2 inches of snow piling up on the backs of our heads. And then the one after that was just like pouring rain and like sleeting. And he
That'll
sat
wake
out here
you
and he-
up, right?
Yeah. Yeah, we definitely weren't comfortable. I'll tell you
I
that.
came back a third time.
Yeah. For some reason, he keeps coming back for more. He loves a punishment. He's a glutton for punishment. So that's
I'm
good.
just a fame whore.
Yeah, yeah. He just likes how he looks on camera. That's why he wants to come out. So, as far as your gym, tell us a little bit more about the Rough House over there in Lombard. What's like
yeah,
your style? What's like your niche kind of thing?
so right now, I mean, the gym's, it's only been around for 3 years, but
Yeah.
it's already gone through so many different, I feel like, phases. We
Yeah.
originally opened it up with this idea of it kind of being like a obstacle course training.
Okay.
When we were first opening the gym, we were kind of thinking, well, we need a niche. Why
Yeah.
is somebody going to come to my gym instead of somebody else's gym?
Yeah.
What's the difference? And my original business partner, who ended up not helping
Being
me.
able to
yeah
do it,
yeah
yeah.
but at the infancy of it, he had the idea of kind of like, well, this is obstacle course thing, like that's kind of the new thing in the fitness world.
And you were
that's up
doing a
and
lot of
coming.
those, right? You were in the Spartan races and stuff.
Yeah,
right?
not until it was kind of brought to my attention that maybe this should be the niche that we kind of went with, and it was like, let's be an obstacle course gym. It's like, okay,
Yeah.
well, I gotta start running some of these things before I can
Oh, gotcha.
train other people to do it.
That's when you started doing it.
Yeah, and
okay.
Spartan did a online certification, so we got that, and I started running races, and I did one, and I was like, holy cow, I love this. This is so amazing.
That
I
seems pretty cool. I've
ended
never
up doing
done
like
one,
15 in one summer.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
Holy
it was
shit.
insane. Yeah, so, but
Wow.
it just didn't seem like that was really, where the gym was going. There weren't that many people coming seeking that out, so
Yeah.
it kind of turned into this just kind of general training
Okay.
thing, and any average person coming by, any thing they need help with, lose weight, build muscle, whatever.
And you were saying you've been doing like open gym and stuff now too.
Yeah, so then we have a pretty big space, 3,200 square feet. So
Okay.
we offer open gym. If anyone's interested in working out in like more of a private atmosphere where you don't have a bunch of high school kids dropping weights and leaving
growling and
sweating all over the machines or whatever. It's small, but it's there's never more than 5 or 6 people in there at once, so it's
Yeah.
plenty of room for 2 or 3 people to be working out there.
Yeah, right.
So, and we were doing a little group training before COVID hit, and we're looking
Okay.
to get that going again. And now we've brought on a chiropractor and a physical therapist. One of my trainers is a licensed massage therapist, so we're sort of slowly kind of creating this team of
wellness team
holistic
kind of thing.
healing
That's
and
awesome.
wellness.
Fuck
Yeah,
yeah, dude.
So
Sounds like it's definitely up your alley over there.
which is
100%.
which was always the original goal. Was I kind of wanted to create this team, and now pretty much all we need is a dietitian, and we'll kind of be set.
Good for
Yeah.
you, man. That's
Yeah,
awesome.
so-
An optimization hut.
Definitely, yeah.
Sensation.
Absolutely.
You just be making
How did
names
you
for a
get
living.
into all this stuff?
Yeah.
I'm curious.
Yeah.
Being a Scorpio.
Let me what into what stuff? Clarify.
Just like owning a business and stuff.
No, like spirituality,
Oh, yeah, there you go.
optimization,
Are
wellness,
Scorpios not
health.
supposed to be like that?
I'm just kidding.
She's generalizing. I'm offended.
Yeah, I can use Scorpio and be a lot of different
Kick her
ways.
off the show.
You're booted. Get out of here.
I got into meditation because I started my podcast 3 years ago, and my friend was like a heavy smoker, the guy who did the production, and I was like, we got to come up with some sort of challenge between me and you. Like, I want to help you, dude. Just get off this fucking smoking kick. It's not good. You're not looking good. It's not healthy, right? So it's like, why don't we try some sort of like meditation every day for 30 days? And I stuck to it. I got to it. So I just kept on doing it because I started learning more about the nervous system and how your body works in a parasympathetic state versus a sympathetic state, and going back to stress and how it can kill you if you stay in a sympathetic state. It's like leaving your car on in the middle of the night when it's in your driveway. It's like,
Explain the difference
Oh,
between
yeah.
the two.
all right, so there's
used to know this.
There's parasympathetic,
Yeah.
which is your rest and digest state, and then there's your sympathetic nervous system, where you're in your fight or flight state when you're
Okay.
stressed out or like in a way like, okay, I gotta like put up, or I'm gonna
Your survival
your
mode.
survival mode, right?
Like,
Where you just-
when you back in the day when you're getting chased by a saber-toothed tiger,
Yeah.
your body would kind of flip into
That was
this
like my
mode.
worst day of my life.
Yeah.
and this is like people in the fitness industry are talking about this all over the place now. Like, I just like to say, rest and digest, and then fight or flight.
She liked that. I'm happy someone laughed at my joke. That
I'm
was good.
laughing.
Too
That was
many
good.
things.
I know. I need to have you on more. This is
Yeah, let's be
fantastic.
the
This is
background
like our laugh track.
laugher.
We just
Actually,
stuff
I could
over it.
probably make some good money doing that.
Yeah, hell yeah. You got to go to comedy clubs. They'll pay
Screw
you to
all
sit in and
this
just
socially
laugh.
stand-up.
Yeah. Yeah, you're just a professional laugher. Yes. That's
Wait,
good.
can I do that?
You got a good laugh. I mean, he seemed like you laugh a
Go
lot.
to open
Yeah.
mic.
I laugh
Absolutely.
a
Go
lot.
support them.
I would believe if you told me you were a professional laugher, I'd say, hell yeah.
They have those.
And you're probably making good money doing
Have
it.
you ever done like an open mic
Whoa.
or done comedy?
I've done one stand-up a couple years back, and I liked it. It was just for me.
you get
it was,
laughs?
It was hard. I was at a bar
Too bad
that
I
they
wasn't
weren't even paying attention to me. It was like a hole in the wall bar in like Berwyn.
Still did it.
And I got up there. I got through my set without like stumbling through it and stuff.
Good.
So I was happy about that. But no, there wasn't a whole lot of laughs with the people that I brought with. But there was like literally like maybe 6, 7 people.
What made you want to do it?
I did Second City, and that's kind of where some of the improv stuff
cool.
helped me with my job that I do now because I'm sitting in front of people for 2 hours, basically entertaining them. I have to keep it going,
Sure.
showing them pictures and designing shit. And if I
Being
get
off the cuff.
if I get boring, they're gonna fucking zone out and. look
That's
forward to it.
interesting that you made
Yeah.
those connections. So that's
Yes,
cool.
So it's definitely helped me, and then and give it back to me now because I'm doing your thing that happened on the podcast. Where did this question start?
Well,
I don't even know.
we were talking about parasympathetic versus sympathetic. She was laughing at your
We're
joke.
lost. Oh yeah.
And then
stand up and shit.
and then I started asking about the stand
So
up.
I did Second City.
Meditation.
I went to Second City. I did their improv program. So I did their improv program for 10 months over there, and I really enjoyed that as well. Did that, and then did some comedy stuff after that. So I like the stand-up thing because I've always thought that I'd be good at it. It's just for me, the delivery isn't the problem. It's more of like the writing. Like it's hard to write
do you
jokes.
ever listen to Joe Rogan?
I do a little bit.
So, dude, as a podcaster, someone who's like really into it. I mean, like, look at you. You're doing all this shit.
Thank you. I appreciate
right? This is
it. We
fucking
try.
awesome. And I'm like really impressed. I'm not giving you fucking shit. Like,
No,
it's
yeah.
hard work to do this stuff.
it is.
And it's like, it's great for like health and wellness. I mean, it's fitness. We're talking about fitness, but expressing yourself creatively, I think is super healthy. So, congrats. But Rogan, he has comedians on all the time, and they just genuinely talk about the process, how they write narratives. And then, like, in like 3 pages, there's the gem, and how they go over it again. They go over, they listen to their sets. And like, it makes me want to fucking do it so bad. But I'm telling you that from what I hear, it's like a 10 to 12 year process of just starting to become competent.
Yeah.
So like you got to do it every night, 4 nights a week.
And I have a long list of reminders on my phone because I'm a scatterbrain, so I have to have like things written down. And I've had that one in there because I met a guy that worked for WGN through work, and he's like, I do a open mic at Zany's. He's like, I get you a 6-minute spot, and like anytime you want.
6 is a long time.
And I was like, I mean, I go in houses for 2 hours. It's not comedy, but like 6 minutes to me feels like nothing. So like,
just go.
When I did my set, I ended up doing for like 15 minutes was the set.
Wow, it's a long time.
Yeah.
You didn't get any, get off the stage.
No, I didn't get any of that. I got a couple last
Take to write it.
And the funny thing about the writing, it was like, it was a couple different jokes that I had written down that I kind of like pieced together to make the set. And I couldn't tell you like how long, probably maybe a couple hours here and there, but then I did practice it a couple times, and a lot of it for me wasn't even fully written. I never wrote it the whole way. I just had ideas that I knew I had to get from this idea to this idea to this one to this one.
Yeah.
But that was the thing with like the writing is there wasn't a lot of great, it's like killer punchlines. Like you gotta like take the time, like be really good at writing jokes. Like, so I just need to practice more at it, to be honest with you. But
yeah, 100%.
But as far as your
Repetition.
podcast, why don't you plug that a little bit? What do you do and what is it about?
It's just the Danny Cole podcast, self-titled.
Yeah.
It's my journey on interviewing high performers.
Yeah.
That's all it is. I just basically started it because I was, I'm a Joe Rogan fan.
Yeah.
I think it's cool that that's his job and he gets to connect with so many different types of people, and you got to start somewhere. So I just started doing it, and I did it every week for like 3 straight years. And then this is the first 4 months where I haven't done any. This is my first podcast of the year, by the way.
Okay, cool.
I haven't.
We're happy to have you out.
Thank you. Yeah, this is a pleasure. I'm excited here. Maybe I've done some, but I haven't posted any to mine this year at all. I was just not doing it. I was opening the gym. It's like not enough time in a day. Priorities, right? It's like I'm doing it all myself. So like.
Finding a team helps. I'll tell you that much.
A team definitely fucking helps.
It makes it a lot easier.
100%.
Mike makes us just look a lot more professional than we are. So we're very lucky to have the team.
Yeah,
built
but dude, anybody can do a podcast. If you have a business, it's important. So like, I like to say, I'm a fitness company, but really I'm a media company, then a fitness company, and then like a practitioner of like health and wellness and all that shit. So like, you got to do it all. you surround yourself. I guess why I do the podcast, because I learned from all these people.
Yeah, hell yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I'm learning from all these coaches, all these podcasters, all these folks that are doing what I want to do, essentially. And there is like, I feel like there's an arena of like professional podcasters, like the Rogans of the world, and Rich Roll, Ben Shapiro, Jordan Peterson, who else? London Real, Brian Rose, Aubrey Marcus. There's so many like high level guys. Lex Friedman, Eric Weinstein, like that are up in this, I feel, in my perspective, this professional arena, and they're pondering ideas that are really going to help society in this pivotal moment that we're in.
Yeah.
And I'm fucking fascinated with the way they're doing work, capturing content, putting it out to people, not forcing people to do anything, but people are listening because they're attracted to this authenticity, and it's just making you think, and it's like, And then it's like you read and watch mainstream news, and it's just like, It's just so base level, and to really dig deep about what's true or what's not true, you got to do the dirty work yourself. This is the age of information. We're in our infancy.
Hard too.
We're in our infancy. We don't know how
What's
this
hard?
works.
You have to spend the time to go
You do.
research all this shit.
You do.
You hear all this stuff flying around on social media or whatever, and it's like you got to sit down and go search out the information, and it's time consuming.
Yeah. And I don't want to
It's a lot easier to read a meme and be like, oh, now I know everything about the election because I read a couple memes and they were hilarious.
But it's like, it's like, what do you?
Let's get this down.
About like what you know. You only think you know what you know. You know what I'm saying? Because there's always contrary information coming out back and forth. So like I always break that down. How do I know this? Like some of it's intuitive, some of it's anecdotal.
How do you sift through the shit here? How do I know what's real and fake anymore? That's the hardest part.
It's very difficult.
Especially like CGI and all the shit they could do and like green screen stuff. Like stuff looks real, man. You make anything look real now. I mean, it's like it's
wait till augmented reality comes out. So like we're in our infancy
it's kind
stage.
of out already.
It is out, right? But like the way humans interact with it and like respond to it, how our brain is like actually working with it. Like, at what point do we get to a point where we can't distinguish reality from a fake world?
Which is The Matrix. It's like the movie The Matrix, pretty much.
You know, it's fucking weird, bro.
But,
you ever been in a lucid dream?
You know what? I love that topic. I like that you're going there with this.
As I shifted, I'm sorry.
Yeah, no, it's okay. My buddy was talking about, I've had one lucid dream in my life that I can remember, and
Seems pretty real.
And I was able to like, I was looked at the lady in the face, and then like I knew I was in the dream, and I started like ripping shit off the shelves, and then like I woke up, and my buddy was telling me about it. He's like, that's what happens to most people that don't know how to control it and aren't good at it, is because you have that like freak out moment, and
I'm not good at it.
And that like moment when you start doing the crazy shit, like, oh, I'm in a fake world, I can start doing whatever I want. Then you wake up because you excite yourself too much. And he was talking about it like a learned skill, like anything else. That this guy like has gotten better at lucid dreaming. He was teaching me some tricks and shit. Like if you know you're in a dream, to like look at a clock twice because it'll never be the same number. Or if you go like this, if you get used to doing this all day long, like poking yourself in the hand and looking at it, and if you go to do it in a dream, your finger will go through your hand. Because of like space and however the mind works with it, and there's like little stuff. So he's like, you start to get good, and you start to do this to yourself throughout the day, just throughout your daily day, and you're gonna look like a psychopath to everybody else. But you start doing that, and he goes, and then when you're in a dream, you go to do it, and your finger goes through, and then he's like, and then you gotta like take it easy, and then you can control it. And he's like, you can learn stuff from your dreams. He's like, that sounds badass.
That is badass.
I'm like, I mean, this is some Inception shit we're talking about here. I want to fuck around with
dude.
that.
That movie, I rewatched that movie. You see that movie, bro?
Yeah.
What were you saying, though?
I was saying, is that how like electricity was invented?
Who fucking knows?
Someone
dude?
just had a lucid dream and started discovering things.
Yeah, put a fucking key on a kite. Yeah, like, I'm gonna do that tomorrow.
Well, that is interesting because people do have like psychedelic experiences where they feel like they get downloads and they carry out those downloads into real time.
Downloads? What do you mean?
Like information from the cosmos.
Okay.
Like
even
in the Matrix,
even in meditations, like idea interwoven with consciousness embodiment in 3D dimension. Like we're in the third dimension, right? Everything's 3-dimensional.
Yeah.
Right. And if everything is merely just a reflection image of us internally, like you can have these connections when you're in deep meditative states. It doesn't have to be on psychedelics or anything, that maybe come to you and you're like, fuck, that's something that I feel really strongly towards. And at some point it makes manifest. You get what I'm saying? So like it's a download. You can say it's from God or whatever, or deeply from within. And people argue deeply from within is God and vice versa. So like, okay, I think that ideas are pretty interesting. Okay, but what are they? They're metaphysical. They're fluid. They're interchangeable. They're always, but you got to capture them. So I said you got to get good at capturing ideas and then making them real. But I call them downloads from the cosmos. What else would you call them?
I like that. I just never heard it. I didn't know what the hell you were talking about.
Yeah.
Like a download, like
Scorpios.
Scorpio.
Yeah, damn Scorpio.
That's funny. No, I don't know. Call me out. What am I saying?
I don't know what Scorpios. I don't know what you typically do.
started
I'm an Aries.
that.
I don't know what that means.
I don't know that I believe in like it's so
Astrology?
general. It's not that I don't believe in astrology and energy and shit. I do, but it's like the Scorpio thing is so general, and it's like the same as a Taurus and somebody else that has all these same emotions. Like we're emotional beings,
Yeah.
and we live on the spectrum of emotion.
What are you?
Scorpios are deep though, right?
Virgo.
That's
I
what
mean, I've
heard.
met Virgos that are deep.
Oh, Virgo.
Yeah.
I've met
Everyone else is
Tauruses
a
that are
Virgo.
deep, Cancers that are deep.
Yeah.
Like it's just so general. You
right.
get what I'm
I get
saying?
what you're saying.
So
Would
it's
you
like-
ask me?
So what are Virgos? What is your like personality traits that you're supposed to have? As a
I don't even know.
Yeah.
I gotta Google it.
I do think we're all cut from the same fabric, though. What are your thoughts on that? All consciousness is cut from the same source code.
Yeah, I mean, I think that makes sense. It's what you do with consciousness that is really makes a difference. I don't know. That's a deep question.
It's a deep question.
Um,
Yeah, think about it for a little bit.
Yeah, I mean,
Right.
it's an interesting one. I don't even know how.
Have you ever
answer it,
waken?
really,
Have you
like-
ever waken up without ever falling asleep? What?
You're doing some deep shit to me right now.
No, that's from Alan Watts. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to go there.
Sleep. I'm like, this is a fucking riddle.
Yeah.
No.
Have you ever
yeah.
gone to? Wait, have you ever? Fuck, it's from Alan Watts. So if you're interested
Okay,
in
yeah.
like philosophy
Yeah.
or like lectures and like
Yeah.
exercising your brain, I just put on Alan Watts lectures to like chill vibe music. It's on Spotify, the playlist all over the place.
Okay.
But like Alan Watts lectures, he goes, "Have you ever fallen asleep or woken up without ever falling asleep? That's when you were born."
That's when you were born.
Like that. And I'm like,
I don't remember
Dude,
when I was born.
Yeah, I don't remember it either.
Yeah,
it
but
wasn't a
it-
good day for me. I remember it being scary. I was very scared. So, Steph, why did you get into the industry, by the way? What drew you to fitness and all this stuff?
Fitness or social media?
Well, you're a trainer as
oh,
well.
fitness, yeah.
Yeah, so
well,
we're
I
on a
was a
fitness
gymnast.
episode, but yeah.
Yeah, that's true. but
metaphysical
I
fitness
also do
episode.
social media for fitness
Oh, gotcha,
gyms
yeah.
and people.
Okay.
I mean,
You're a
I was an
gymnast?
athlete growing
Okay,
up
yeah.
my whole entire life. I trained
Okay.
really competitively,
Yeah.
5 hours a day in the gym. It was like my life.
yeah.
So I was Illinois state champion at one point.
Were you?
Yeah.
Congratulations.
Thanks.
For one event or like
All around. Yeah.
Oh, some badass
So,
shit there. Yeah.
and so like athletics and being an athlete myself has just been ingrained in me. And then I
Yeah.
did POMs,
Yeah.
dance, got into more like hip hop style. And then I did boxing like when I was younger, like early 20s.
Yeah.
And then now I just got back into it
Yeah.
with Mayweather.
So
So,
did you feel though that when you started getting into the fitness industry that you were making your hobby your job, and like has that like ruined it for you at all? Like, does that make sense? Because sometimes people will something that they really like to do, you go make it your job, and then it's like it's not as fun as it takes the fun out of it. You
yeah.
have to do it. You know? Did you have that at all? Like, did it?
I don't know. It's
Yeah.
always been a side job for me. So
Okay.
it's never been my
so your
full-time
main
thing.
is
It's
social
social
stuff,
media.
Yeah. Okay.
And that could be a burnout type of thing. But
yeah. I can
I
see that
mean,
being exhausting. This
it
the social
is.
media
You're
thing.
yeah, so like I do one thing that's very high energy and energizing.
Yeah.
And I really like love that 1 hour that I'm with my group. And
Yeah.
then I think it's more draining to be behind the computer screen.
Hell yeah. The mental
So,
drain is
But I
real.
don't know. I mean, you guys are the ones that are running gyms that are with people all day long. I mean, is that super draining? Because I do
Yeah.
wonder about
Yeah, same
that.
question to you. I mean,
Yeah.
does that it turned you off to like working out where it's like, I used to love working out. I really don't love it anymore because it's my job now.
So I still love working out. If
Yeah.
anything, I enjoy it more now than I ever
Okay.
have. I mean, I remember when I first started working out, it was kind of like tough. Like I'm tired, I don't want to do this, but the more I learned how to do it and what it's doing for me, and the more enjoyable it can be.
Yeah.
But when it comes to the actual training, I think it's tough when you run your own business because you end up having two jobs. You know, before when you're working for a gym, an LA Fitness,
You're
an
just a
Export, or
trainer,
whatever,
you come in and
you
out.
show up,
Yeah.
you train your clients, you leave.
Yeah.
When you own a building, you got to clean the floor.
Yeah.
You
the
got to answer
floor.
emails.
Oh,
you
the
got to
floor.
your employees are bitching about they haven't got their checks yet.
Yeah.
The guy leasing the space next door is whining because the light bulb is out. It's like that's what takes it out of you.
Oh, yeah.
Like and it almost
never stops.
right, and it almost
Does
turns
it
out-
never stop?
it never stops. And then
Really?
so then
You gotta get good at shutting it off. Like you go back to
That's
it.
like with
Yeah.
Get back to it.
everything I do too. I
so
guess.
I mean I love when I do have the free time to work out. That is it is still my kind of sanctuary. It's still my oasis, but yeah, just like owning your own business, I think at a certain point in time you have to either figure out like, okay, how can I train my clients and run this business properly at the same time? Like there really is two different jobs, and I think either you gotta choose one or the other, or you have to do both, but then you need help. Like you need to have someone who runs your social media. You need to have somebody who's
running your numbers,
cleaning
all that shit.
doing your payroll, having an accountant. Like you do need to have a team, because I remember when I first opened my gym, it was like, I'm never going to hire anyone to clean. I'm never going to hire, I'll do my own social media. I'm Mr. Big stuff. Here you go. And all of a sudden you get super busy, and it's like, then you're like have a mental breakdown, and you're like, oh my God, I can't do it all. Like I just, oh my God, I haven't watched a show. There's like 9 Netflix shows everyone's watched that I haven't caught up on. Like
I haven't even seen Tiger King.
yeah, like what? So it just turns into that, and you turn into. But then it's like there's so many like. You're so torn, because at the same time, hey, I got a little power, I got a little respect, I'm making a little bit more money, but my life is kind of crazy now. And
It's wing.
if 1 month is great, the next month's not. It's like, the next month's gonna be bad too, but then it's better. It's like there's such a roller coaster of emotions.
It makes me feel so good to hear you say that, though, because like I feel the same fucking way. Not to turn this into therapy or anything, but like, thank you for saying that shit, because it's hard to manage your emotions when you're up and down like that, and like it's hard to train, make sure all that shit is handled, and then figure out where the next business is coming from, how you can kind of give to let something evolve a little bit more. Like you got to give yourself creative time. And like you can easily get consumed if you don't put order where it needs to be there, or else chaos starts to manifest, and that's stressful.
And you can feel stuck. Like even if you do have downtime, it's like you don't know what to do with yourself.
Ooh.
You know what I mean? It's like,
Yes.
do I do a
I've heard
post?
that.
Do I call some? What do I do? I don't know what to do with myself. There's like 9 million things I got to. Should I lift? I work out.
should be doing something right
should
now.
I clean? Like,
Do I eat? Am I hungry?
so it's like, and then you become stuck, and then it's like, well, I need to be doing something, but I don't know what to do.
That's when you meditate.
And
probably.
then you probably should meditate.
Yeah.
Sounds like a good option.
Well, I'm a Virgo, so it's not doesn't.
doesn't work as well. Oh, dude.
When's your birthday?
The 7th.
I'm the 14th.
Oh, cool.
Nice.
You guys are very close.
1 week apart.
Wow.
I was born on Labor Day.
that year.
Yes,
Changes,
that
right?
year. But
What year?
87.
Nice.
And everyone used to joke, "Oh, you're born on Labor Day because you're
Big pain in my ass.
take the day off."
Ah, there you go.
And then your mom was
day
in labor on Labor Day.
Yeah, that's it. I can see that. Yeah, I get told, like, "Oh, I'm Justin." "No, you're just in time, man."
Come on, that's
Asshole.
don't
The hell out of my
don't
face.
perform that one on stage.
Yeah.
No, believe me. When I was serving, when I was bartender and a server and shit, all day, dude, like 4 times a day. Fucking old men
Really?
usually.
Really?
Old white men
Just in
usually.
time?
You're just in time, bro. Like
Like, what do you mean by that?
you're
Yeah.
just in time for me
To-
like
to get
order
your
some
drink
shit.
order?
Yeah.
That's
Yeah,
so
It
bizarre.
was constant.
Oh, that's
It was
rough.
so.
Yeah, I can see that shit.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Oh,
they
that's
see it
brutal.
on your name tag.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you always introduce yourself. You walk to the table and shit. At the nicer places, we didn't have to wear the nice name tags
my
and shit.
bad.
Oh yeah, I was a fancy fucking server, man.
Oh,
Yeah,
yeah.
I had a fancy
That was
white
a
shirt
nice
on. I had to
place.
like iron my shit every day. Yeah, I don't fuck around. It was at Redstone. I don't know if you guys know the place.
yeah.
But yeah, it got a lot of wine and stuff. Talked about meat markets earlier at your Bally's.
Bally's was definitely a meat market.
That's what this place was for, like anyone from like 40 to 60 divorcees in Oakbrook. It was like just that's where you go if you're looking to have a good time.
so being in that like arena, if
Yeah.
you will, like what like pattern did you pay attention to people's behavior the most? Like what
as a
fascinated you the most?
As a bartender, the pattern I would pay attention to the most was the drunken level, because some of that's your responsibility there, and you gotta like make sure they're gonna get home safe and shit.
Yeah.
So definitely be paying attention to that and how they're falling apart throughout the night. Like,
Ah.
like okay, you're like, I know I've served you like 6 drinks and you're like barely standing. Like we gotta we're done. Here's some
Uber.
bread and shit. Yeah. And that's a delicate dance because people getting cut off are not happy.
Sure,
typically.
sure.
So you gotta like really approach that the right way, or you piss some people off and
Sure.
get an angry drunk in there. Yeah, it's not ideal.
Interesting. What else though?
Um,
I made to put you on the spot.
yeah, to tell you the truth, most of the time for me, I was always trying to just give the service that I wanted as when I go out to eat, because I'm trying to enhance their experience.
Of course.
So I was always trying to pay attention to just like facial cues, stuff like that, of like, oh, do they look like they need something, like from a distance, kind of looking, not always like hawking over them, being over them, but kind of like standing down the hall and looking at your tables and like just paying attention to all the facial cues and stuff, and being like proactive about stuff before they ask you're doing it, because you're seeing the look on their face or they're sipping the last drink or stuff like that. So that helped me again with like improv and all that, was being in front of people and talking to so many different people.
Probably why you're a really good salesman too.
It definitely helps, because you got to build a relationship with people, you know.
Ooh.
Especially when what I'm doing now is selling like high end stuff. It's tens of thousands of dollars of home improvements and stuff.
Yeah.
And I'm trying to sell it the first time I meet them. So I gotta get you to trust me, and you gotta trust the company, and it takes some time.
Do you hug them? Like, Todd, it's so nice to meet you.
Oh, when I pass customers and shit, well, definitely. But in COVID era now, it's super awkward.
Oh,
Like,
right.
I'm walking in like, and I have like my gator like around my neck, and I'm like,
You go in like
What do we
the boy in the bubble.
yeah, we had hazmat suits. We were going in, but it is awkward right now, and all the older
Elbows.
guys are
Oh, I
like,
love
give me
it.
one, bro.
Do you run into the guy though that's like, it's over for him? Like there's no mask. Shake the hand. Like give me a hug.
Dude, there's
like,
a ton of
let's
there's a ton
kiss.
of
Like
older people.
Like, I'm
Yes.
running into like
Yes.
more of those people lately. And it's like, wait, like, are we doing?
Yeah,
Are we
you're
doing
cool. Are you good?
Because I don't want to come off as like a wimp, but at the
Yeah.
same time,
Yes.
I don't know.
It's awkward
It's
as
interesting.
hell.
You
It's
know?
inter- I like to talk about this though. I think it's helpful. Like, what are your thoughts? Like, do you feel like I'm above the, like I like to think about like just do what you want to do. Like, if you feel comfortable wearing the mask, great. Like, I'm gonna choose not to, and it's my it's the way I'm gonna roll in my gym, and I'm just gonna roll with that. If you're comfortable, cool, stay. If not, you don't have to come.
If I
That's
see
what I feel
somebody
like.
approaching me in my business and they have a mask
I
on,
try to put
I will
mine on.
put my mask
That's
on.
usually what I do.
I will come
Okay.
up to greet them. I will sort of lean in like, hey, I'm open to shaking a hand. But if they don't, then I'm like,
Yeah.
I'm not going
Got
to
it.
force a handshake.
Yeah.
But if someone does give me their hand, I'll shake it back. But
Got it.
And even if I am vaccinated and whatever, all that, like I'll still, if I'm working with someone who's been vaccinated, if they still want me to wear a mask, I'll
there you
just
go.
wear it. Like, who cares? Like,
That's
it's
about where I'm
the
at.
business owner. They're the customer. They're paying money. If it's makes them feel more comfortable for me to wear a mask or a freaking beanie, I'll do it. Like whatever makes you more comfortable, whatever's making you want to come to my place of business, and I'll do whatever I need to do.
Like you
So,
can karaoke.
yeah,
and
I don't
shit
care.
If they really like your voice
Hey,
or something, right?
if the card clears,
Yeah. If there's definitely a request, I'm in on that.
How do you guys keep your members staying long term? Is there
This
a
guy's fucking charming. You
Good
don't
trick.
see?
I mean, I
It's
think
like $1 million smile.
I think the easiest clients to get to stay are the ones that have gotten training in the past. And if they've come from a gym where they've seen trainers before, and if you give them a workout that they've never gotten before and they go, oh, well, my last trainer, we just kind of sat around a lot and talked, and we did a little bit of this and a little bit of that, and I never saw any, results. They come to see you, and all of a sudden it's like you got a clipboard, you're looking at the clock, okay, we're like we got 60 minutes, we got this to go to, we got that to go to, and they see that you mean business.
Yeah.
I think that's like the first thing is, but that's most important to them. It's like, okay,
Right.
this guy takes me getting healthy
Very
more serious than I do.
Yeah.
So,
People know.
and he's not a dud to hang out with. Like,
Yeah.
know who you're working with. If you're working with someone who's a little shy and quiet, you got to do the talking.
Match
more.
their energy.
Sometimes you got an extrovert who all they want to do is talk the whole time. Guess what? You're shutting up for 60 minutes.
Yeah.
It's their time. They want to talk. Sit there, nod. That's okay. I hear you.
try to-
I told you that bitch crazy. Just,
What
and
about
so-
questions? Like how do you formulate? Do you ask questions? Do
Yeah,
you
so
like?
every new person will start with a consultation, and the first half of it'll be just, what's your deal? What are you looking for? How can I help? What do you want? And just kind of go from there, and then we'll go through some movement assessments, kind of try to show them a couple of things, talk to them about some stuff they might have heard of, maybe talk about, reciprocal inhibition or the general adaptation
sounds
syndrome
fancy.
or proprioception, just throw some words out there. And
Yeah.
show them that you know what you're doing.
Yeah, you're the expert.
Yeah.
here.
You know what you're doing. We're here to have fun. We're taking this seriously.
Yeah.
And I always try to find something that'll show them like immediate results. The thing that stinks about fitness is a lot of times you have to be patient.
Yes.
You're not going to lose weight overnight. You're not going to get that six pack overnight, but you can get somebody to feel something
Yeah.
right then and there.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
a lot of times is I'll put them through like a movement assessment, maybe a core assessment. And if they say they feel it in their lower back when they do some sort of ab-related exercise, and I'll go, okay, well, your lower back is feeling it when you're doing something that's supposed to be ab-related because you have some weakness. You probably have some tightness. So I'll like have them loosen up a couple areas, do a little activation drill, and then have them do the exercise over again. Holy crap, I'm feeling it in my belly.
Right.
And then, yeah, we can do that with other things.
That's a
And
breakthrough in their mind. Like,
immediately,
whoa, okay,
they
this guy-
see
yeah.
they see a change immediately, and they go, wow, if this guy could do this in 2 seconds, what could he do with
if I commit
3
to
times
like
a week?
Yeah.
Yes.
And they sign up, three times a week for 3 months. After that, pay as you go. Before you know it, you've had a client for 3 years.
Yeah.
So
100%.
It's making those
100%.
connections, and I think it's again to your point was people got to feel like you care. That's
well, you
what-
have to care. You
You
can't.
have to.
You can't even pretend.
Yeah,
Like, you
you
need to
have
care
to
because
care.
people
Yeah.
will see
you
into
feel it.
the
feel it.
BS.
Yeah.
So did you say you personally message them? Or you do, right?
I text them every other day when their sessions, like, hey, I'll see you tomorrow at 7 a.m. Breakfast Club. I always,
Something.
I always do the text messaging. Do you do that?
So I probably maybe not as diligent as that, but I will definitely keep track of what's going on in people's lives. So if I have a client whose mother just got back from the
Yeah,
doctor
just
because they
hitting them
saw a
up.
spot on their lung, I'm texting that guy 2 days later. Hey,
Yeah.
how's mom doing? What's
yeah,
going
yeah.
on?
That's good.
If I have somebody who is, just had bunion surgery, like I'm
Yeah.
texting them, hey, how's the foot doing? What's going on? When can you get back in the gym? If not anytime, like I will make notes on their work. So everyone's got a workout that I prepare ahead of time. I will make notes on that workout.
Yeah,
Things
little
that
stuff about their life.
physical things that we've done too. Okay, shoulder, elbow, whatever. But also, so and so's on spring break next week, or they're going to Joe's taking his kids to the zoo next week. I'm asking Joe about how the zoo went on Saturday. When this guy tells you he's taking his kids to the zoo on Thursday, you see him on Monday, you ask about the zoo, he knows, this person cares about me.
Yeah, 100%.
This person's interested in me, in my life, in my health. He's not just taking my money, which I feel like is kind of the vibe at a lot of other,
Bingo.
Yeah, for sure.
services, gyms and stuff like that. So-
Absolutely.
Sorry not to budge in, but like we're talking
you're
about
good.
people and connections. Like I got a client who runs a pancake house and he's been in business for 46 years. So
Damn.
we always talk about business
Yeah.
and like
Good guy to talk to.
sustainability and all that stuff. Like how do you keep going? He goes, you know why you're going to be good? Because you're an ROP guy, not an ROI guy. I'm like, well,
Who's ROP?
I'm like, I'm an ROI guy too. I like that. I like thinking about that. He's like, no, you're an ROP person. Return on people.
Yeah.
And like
Okay.
that's like you're talking about someone who's in it for 46 years, doing his thing, and like has several types of businesses on top of one. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? And just like, so it really does have everything to do with like the relationships you build with them, and then people just budget, just training.
Well,
Boom.
especially with with the service thing like that, like we as trainers, of course we probably think of ourselves as a necessity, right? We think nothing can be more important than your health, but most people look at personal training as a luxury. It's not. Food is a necessity. Your car is a necessity. Getting training is something that's nice to have
It's
if you have
extra.
excess money.
Yeah.
So you need to convince these people that it's worth it.
Yeah,
You know,
yeah.
it's not just, because how can you make someone think paying you what $40, $50, $60 a session
Yeah.
2-3 times a week is worth it? I mean, that adds up. And if you're not convincing this person that
good
it's
for
worth
them,
it, they're
yeah.
not going to last very much longer. And it's way easier to hold on to business than it is to generate new business. If you're not working at a big club where there's 90 new people coming in every week,
Yeah.
if I'm lucky, I'm getting, a handful of people reaching out a month, maybe a couple of those people sign up, I got to hold on to those people.
Yeah.
That's right.
I can't just lose clients left and right because they're not just coming in and out of the door. So
Yeah.
you do have to make your personal relationship with them. You have to stay professional, of course.
Yeah.
But becoming friendly with them, showing that you care just so much about them is huge, because if somebody thinks that you don't give a crap about them, like,
It's a very personal thing to people's bodies.
yeah, I mean, you're working
it's-
one-on-one with these people a lot, and they're at, they're in they're sweating, the makeup's not smearing, the hair's all messed up.
Yeah.
They're not in they're very
being
vulnerable.
I was
They're in a
just
very
gonna say.
vulnerable state, and a lot of times when they're in that state, they're tired, they're sweating, other things start coming out. My husband this,
Bingo.
work that, my
Yep.
sister this, my mother, and all of a sudden you start having like these deep conversations, and you need them to feel safe with you. And even if somebody thinks like, hey, maybe I'm not losing as much weight as I thought I was going to be,
I like this guy.
they
I like going there
still
and
see
hanging out.
value in coming in here. They're still getting a release. Even if they're going home, they're not eating as well as they should be. They're not getting the most out of it. They're still getting something out of it, because they're coming to you. You're listening to them. You're offering advice. And
I'm kind of curious, does it ever impact you as a person when you are hearing like clients, like their
question.
stories and like
It's heavy. It's heavy.
Yeah.
It's heavy. You have to definitely like cleanse yourself. Like you have to like breathe. That's why I'm like big on the meditation. You take on other people's energy. You take on their form. You take on
I've
everything.
been hearing all these things. It's
Yeah.
going in and
Going
yeah,
in,
when
going out.
your client's shoulders not getting better, or they're not losing weight, your shoulder's hurting. You're not, like, I feel like when my client I've been working with for a few months is struggling, getting the weight off for whatever reason, that's like, I'm not
weighing
losing the
on
weight.
you.
I'm overweight, because their weight is my weight and their pain is my pain. So yeah, it is tough, but
It's heavy stuff, and like it's good and all, but we're guys that got to monitor our mental state too, because there's a lot of shit that we got to be responsible for, and like we need that outlet too. So hopefully, like, do you have your own coach? Is there somebody that you like to train with or confide in or talk to? I mean, this is why I like doing stuff like this, because I meet people doing the same type of thing, and then you say things, and I'm like, oh, dude, I fucking vibe with that. I know exactly. But do you have a coach?
well,
that
I
you
mean, when
talk
I
to?
was back working at, the bigger gyms before I opened at my own place, it was nice because you would have other trainers there. You could bounce ideas off of, hey, can you spot me? Hey, what do you think about this? And then when I was supposed to open up my gym with my other buddy that ended up not working out, I really have been kind of alone for a long time. And I make jokes all the time with people, man, I wish I could get a trainer. Like, this would be nice. Somebody racking my weights and write my programs and telling me what but
I mean, you could get a trainer.
I know I should, but well, I mean, I have other trainers now working at the gym, so that's starting to help a little bit.
Yeah.
But sometimes it's tough because either they're inexperienced, they haven't been doing it as much, or it's
sure.
kind of this weird, I'm sort of the boss
Yeah.
relationship too. And
Is it cool? Can we talk about like your program? Are they renters? Are they employees? How did that work?
so I have 2 boxing trainers who are their own entity.
Okay.
They lease out space.
Okay.
And I have 2 rough house trainers that are my employees, and then obviously the chiropractor and the
They're
physical
their own
therapist,
thing.
they're their own entity too, but they're within my own space now. So
Got
it's
it.
sort of like we're sort of merging a little bit.
But they pay you rent then?
Yeah, so they pay me rent to rent a room that we built for them, and then a per patient that they see every month. But they just started. That's still kind of a new thing.
Got it.
So I
have the same
Yeah.
exact thing happening
Yeah.
in my gym. Exactly the same. That's pretty awesome.
yeah.
That's
so
cool.
always evolving. You constantly changing.
Constantly
It's-
changes.
yeah.
Always something going on.
Yeah.
100%. You
I
got to
think
roll with the punches.
COVID taught us all, reminded us all of that. That if you think stuff isn't going to change and you're not ready to be flexible,
Yeah.
it's going to be a tough time.
Did you guys close for a while?
Yes and no. Like
Secretly stayed open?
sorta. Yeah. I mean, we started
Can't
doing.
say it.
We started
We
doing.
didn't stay open.
We were. Some people were still coming in. We were just spraying down. I mean, we stopped the group training.
Yeah, right.
But the few people that were still coming in, it was like husband and wife, boyfriend and girlfriend
Right.
teams, spraying everything down left and right.
Right.
It was most of the people transitioned over to Zoom. And yeah, for that, March, April, and May was pretty tough. We lost a few people. People got furloughed. People got let go. But once
June?
phase 3 hit June 1st,
Boom,
just
right?
blew up.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I was crazy busy, had to hire 2 trainers, and that's when I started going crazy. because it was like, oh my God, I'm like really busy, but COVID, got to keep cleaning
good
things.
problem
and
to have. But
it's-
then,
yeah,
like,
and but it's like I'm really super busy now, and so and now it's things have kind of leveled off a little bit, but now we're back in this transitional phase because like people are starting to go back to the bigger gyms, and so I'm not the only game in town anymore like I was during the initial stages. So it's like,
so you're like hoping for another pandemic. Like, rooting for it.
Do you do steel maces at your gym?
no, we don't have
No
we
steel
don't-
maces?
No.
What about when summer hits though? Do you feel like in the fitness industry in general, more people are just doing their own thing outside? Or
No, I find that I get busier in the
Me too.
summer. Yeah, I actually. Everyone always goes, "Oh, it's January." You guys get like, no. I'm not busy in January and February.
Really?
People will go to the big gyms in January and February,
Yeah.
fail, then they come see me and him. They kind of can't do it on their own, and then spring, summer they go see someone like you or someone like me who
Right.
needs a little extra help.
Yeah.
At least that's how it
typically
is
what
for
you
me.
For sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, like June, July, August last year was very good as far as like leads coming your way, whether you keep them or not. That's the individual or the gym, but it boomed, man, and I feel like it's still continuing to boom.
With your guys' leads and stuff, how are you generating it? Is word of mouth mainly?
A lot of word of mouth,
Yeah.
social. People email. I do an email list. I think email marketing is so underestimated.
Yeah.
Like capturing emails is so freaking important, and having different types of articles, whether you're writing, maybe like a link to the podcast, or like you have merchandise, or you have like an online product that you're looking to sell. Like when you have the customer base, then you provide a value like training. It's like, hey, what else you got?
Yeah.
What else you got?
Yeah,
And then you build your gym into some sort of brand that people really want to be. They really want to rep. They want to be a part of the community. And yeah, I think emailing is like essential. You have to get that going. If you don't get that shit now, get it going.
Yeah, we did a couple things at York Furrier, one of our sponsors. We did a giveaway, and they gave us a pretty cool women's like fur winter package thing, a hat and some gloves and stuff. And they kind of pushed us into trying to get people's emails for them. But as of right now, we don't have anything like that. But we're just kind of using Facebook to be our main, marketing and kind of getting it out there to people.
Yeah. I
what
learned
about
that-
Instagram? You're not on Instagram?
Rob handles the Instagram.
Yeah, you guys post some funny stuff on Instagram.
Yeah, Rob handles the Instagram. I handle TikTok right now, and I haven't been doing a whole lot on Twitter, but I'm supposed to handle the Twitter too. But
I think Twitter is top tier.
You think
Yeah.
so? You think?
Oh, I
you don't
love
think
Twitter.
is it not going anywhere?
No.
I feel like
It's not
Twitter's
going
used
anywhere.
for like people that are looking at like famous people. Am I wrong?
Well, I
in
think
that?
like news. I'll go
News
to
drops
Twitter
on
for
Twitter.
news.
yeah,
I'll go
okay.
for like Instagram for like funny memes.
yeah,
And then Snapchat is just like my brother sending videos
Yeah.
of my niece.
stupid shit. Okay, oh, that's
and
not
stuff
stupid,
like that.
okay, yeah.
That at least that's what I. And then Facebook, it's just like, oh, let's see what's on Facebook. today.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. I regret opening this.
How much do you use that for marketing your gym or like building that brand? Like, do you do that at all?
So I would definitely say, so for Facebook, I created kind of like a private group from the
Solid.
clients.
Good call.
Because I felt like just posting random stuff on Facebook, if you have like 200 people like that, like your page, like, I don't know. So, but I feel like if you make kind of this more like intimate, hey, we have this private group, and I'll like post articles that I like, stuff I've listened to that I think's interesting, and then just updates of the gym. Hey, we're mopping the floors today. If you guys could please not wear outside shoes into the gym today. I feel like Instagram's the biggest thing for like fitness stuff because it's the best to showcase quick little clips,
Definitely.
demonstrate
agree with that?
exercises.
Yeah, I think Instagram is like the most intimate way that you can really connect with people because you can go on your Instagram story right now and like we could be doing this live on the podcast and live on Instagram.
Yeah.
That's what we need to start doing. We're not utilizing.
And, I mean, you could do it on Facebook too, right? And
Live
like,
We're only doing Facebook Live. This is live, by the way. So
Sweet.
If you
What's
didn't know.
up?
Yeah.
oh, it is.
Yeah. Oh, congratulations.
We're
You're
live on social.
Yeah, yeah.
I just
in
think
real time.
I just think for like fitness specifically, Instagram is like the best
Yeah.
Yeah, I
one
agree.
for it. So I definitely don't
Check
do
out
it enough.
TikTok, bro. I'm telling you.
And TikTok is
TikTok's
really
got
big.
a lot of fitness stuff going on
Oh,
there.
absolutely.
A lot.
I don't know. I'm not into it.
I'm telling you, it's the algorithm they have over there. It's gonna give you the stuff that you like. I mean,
Yeah.
I was knocking it before I tried it, and now that I'm on it and do it for Bonfire Banter is why I did it. I made the account for us, and it's a nice platform for us to take little segments like funny moments and pop it on stuff like there.
I think I'm gonna be more open to it. I think you're
I'm selling it to you.
You're selling it to me.
Yeah,
You're convincing
absolutely.
me.
Yeah, we had a historian on the show. His name's Dilla, who's blowing up. He was on the cover of the Tribune. He's doing a couple TV shows, but he's like a Chicago historian. And he says these 1-minute videos, really educational, like cool stuff. And he has like hundreds of videos of all these little Chicago history things. And he's starting to get a lot of followers. But he came on the show a couple weeks back and talked about St. Patrick's Day and the kind of history of that.
Cool.
But you can find people into anything on there.
True.
That's why, again, when I first got on TikTok, I thought it was a bunch of dancing teenagers, and I was like, I'm not gonna like this, but I need to start this. It's the new hot thing. I need to
true.
start this for Bonfire Banter. And then I was like, it's not just dancing teenagers. There's like funny shit on there. There's serious shit. There's dietitian stuff, fitness stuff. I mean, it's anything you're
There's
looking
just
for.
so
really.
many freaking social media apps that it's
Yeah.
like, what's gonna draw my attention?
Yeah.
I would say like, for me, it's you pick 2, stick with them,
Yeah.
and that's it. Facebook, Instagram, email marketing, and that's it for me.
Because it's hard to do all
To
of
be
them.
on all.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, what
Yeah.
do you recommend to your clients though? Is like to be on all of them?
I tell my clients, like, depending on their budget, where can you like optimize the best amount of time, and my time too, right? So like, where are we going to place you in terms of like your goals and the industry you're in? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But a lot of my clients definitely utilize Instagram for sure, always.
one post a day at least, right?
Actually, like, we really also go off of like how much, again, it's the budget, but like my company, Socially Step, focuses on quality. So like, I don't want to just blast things out for my clients if we don't have the assets that are high quality.
Yeah.
So we really focus on everything high quality. Every quarter, we set up a content shoot with our clients, so it's all professional mostly, unless it's like user generated content. So like, let's just say someone goes to your gym and they're posting like awesome selfies or something and it's quality, then it's usable, right?
Yeah.
But not everyone who's a social media user knows what they're doing or like
Yeah, no, you're right.
we could
True.
you see a lot of that, right?
Yeah,
So
it's hard. You got to keep practicing, doing different angles, and
even
trying
know
to editing
You
differently.
can't do what your possibilities
Right.
are, what effects you could put on the videos, or how you get text coming in and stuff.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
and they're
Editing
different
and
on all of them.
Editing.
Slow motion
Yeah.
and
TikTok, there's a lot of effects and stuff you can
As
do.
far as like posting though, wouldn't you recommend like
if you could whatever consistency you can handle is what I tell my clients. So if you as a business owner can be consistent every day, every day,
Yeah.
do it. But if,
if
you
it's
can
good too, though.
yeah, it's got
What's
to
that?
Don't just post some random.
exactly. It
Here's
has
my
to be
cat.
intentional.
And
Yeah.
he stepped in the snow.
Yeah.
Like,
I mean, it has
yeah.
to be purposeful, intentional, and so that's why like it all lumps into the quality aspect of it. But if you can be consistent 2 to 3 times a week, then stick with that.
Okay.
But like stick with something consistency wise.
Yeah,
You know, not just like I'm gonna be consistent this week, and it's like you post 5 times, and then the next week it's like 0,
Yeah.
and then you come back.
Yeah.
It's like,
Okay.
I
that
do have my
makes sense.
spells though, where I'm just like, dude,
and
fuck
that's okay
this
too.
for today and
But
this week.
To
for
get
that
kind of
matter.
non-negotiable.
You're
thing
speaking
talking
my
about is-
language, man. I get yelled at every week because I don't post enough on social
Really?
media. And I know I need to. It's just
Yeah.
It's
just hard.
crucial. It's
It's
crucial.
just-
You
it
just have
so
to, if you
is.
want to be in the eyes of people all the time, you got to be part of your default. Like I was saying earlier, not like automatic, like on a poster, automatic poster, but like it's got to be woven into your day somehow. It's
Yes.
like right now I'm either posting, I'm creating content, or I'm promoting it. That's it.
Yeah.
Right? It's got to be interwoven in your day, at least once a day, at least.
And it can be because, if you're working out consistently, that's what?
That's it.
An hour,
another
sometimes
thing,
hour and a
yeah.
half, depending on
Gotta
how,
put it in.
intensive a lifter you are. You could spend 10 minutes
Yeah.
making
Putting
a post.
together a
or
post.
5,
Yeah.
it's,
It doesn't
it's,
take that long. It's one of those things too, where it's
Yeah.
like you're dreading it, and you go to do it. And it's like that took me like 10
Yeah.
minutes.
Well, I used to work in
Take my time.
advertising, so I'm very like
Oh yeah.
crazy with like the words and the grammar and everything, and I like the image needs to be perfectly like
Yeah.
so I freak out if that's off a
Yeah,
little bit, and
bothers
it's
you,
like
yeah.
because I used to work in advertising, so it's a blessing and a curse because
Yeah.
I feel like I know what makes a good post, but then that
But creating
keeps
it
me
and
from
it.
doing it because it's like, well, this isn't good, so I'm not gonna post
Yeah.
it. It's like
Gotcha.
Too critical though. I feel like that's a
So,
huge
yeah.
problem with a lot. Like not
sure.
trying
A
to
lot
call
of
you out,
creators.
No,
but
for
like it's just we talk ourselves into not posting because we come up with something that's not good enough.
Yeah.
And like we can do that all day, but if you really want like your name to be out there every single day behind people, people will follow your high quality, you're genuine, you're a good trainer, the brand is nice, boom, but every day it's like, oh, this Instagram like post is a little off over there for who gives a shit. Nobody cares. It's like every single day, every single day. But like I psych myself out all the time. It's like, oh, maybe I shouldn't post this. I'm like a fucking idiot. But whatever.
Yeah, and you have to do some of that sometimes because you don't know if that's like the one post that you think it's stupid.
Yeah.
Yes.
It might be the best one, the best.
How about this, dude? You ever?
Absolutely.
How about this? You're doing on social media all the time. So like, you know, you go and you have this library in your pictures, right?
Yeah.
Like you record something and you talk it out and you look back and it's like so stupid. I'm never gonna post that shit.
Yeah.
But you
Facebook
leave
memories,
it, right?
Facebook
Hold on.
memories. I
But
delete
then-
something every day.
But then like you go back to it a month later and you're scrolling through. It's like, what did I get that one day? It's like, oh, I don't remember this. And you look at it and you're like, that's not a bad post, but in the moment you did it, you're like, fucking idiot, don't post that. But then later on, you're like, hey, it
Why
wasn't that
didn't I-
bad.
People like
We do that all the time, though.
Self-sabotaging.
Yeah, we do this all the time, and it's detrimental. And it could be the one post that maybe makes you pop a little bit.
Yeah.
It gets that extra person that could.
got the right
Right.
eyes on it. That post
Right.
caught somebody's
That one
eye.
post ends up being extra $1,200 a month because that person was like, oh, I saw that club post that you did one day, and it's like, oh, I want to do 3 times a week with you now.
Yeah.
Totally.
It's very
Let's
true.
do it.
It's a mental thing.
It is
It's
a
a
mental
mental
thing.
hurdle.
Yeah. Back to the meditation though in the cold shower though. What are your thoughts?
I mean, I read that.
You're enticing me to do cold showers.
I don't know if I can
I mean,
do
I've
it.
done
I'm
it
gonna try
before
it.
here
You've
and there,
heard of
but not
Wim Hof. That's what you're
consistency.
talking about, right?
Yeah.
There's
well,
a-
cold therapy.
Yeah.
Wim Hof is interesting though because not a lot of people know what happened to him before he became the Iceman. Now this is fucking deep.
Well, Wim Hof is who?
So he's like this Dutch, like he's really the one who's really like popularized like the cold therapy
you must
meditating.
breathe, man.
There's
You
a
have to
there was
breathe
a
in the
book
cold.
there's a book some guy who was like writer for Playboy was sent out to basically debunk him, like, oh, we've heard of this Iceman who cures people's Parkinson's disease with this cold therapy stuff. Go out there, work with him, and write up about how he's full of shit.
Yeah.
Well, this writer went out there, trained with him, and was like, oh, this guy's onto something. Like, there's something to this. And he wrote a book about it. I actually read the book a few years ago. I keep forgetting what it was called. It was called, I'll figure it out. But basically, what it goes into is about how, we are these ancient bodies living in modern times. We have not evolved, physiologically to deal
Handle
with
these modern stresses.
sitting around,
Yeah.
eating processed food whenever we want, living in constant 70 degrees temperature. Like, so our bodies are getting weak. Our bodies need pressure. How do you build muscle? You load it with weight.
Yeah.
How do you build strength within your body, your immune system? You need to have germs, and you need that fight or flight.
right.
We're constantly in a parasympathetic state. We're never in fight or flight. We're always chilling and relaxing. So our body's weakened. If you have a cast on your arm and your body's not using your arm muscles,
atrophy.
it atrophies.
Yeah.
Muscle is an expensive tissue to keep onto your body. So if you're not going to use it, your body's not going to
Support it,
support it and
basically,
keep it going. So basically the whole cold therapy is getting yourself out of your comfort level, forcing your body to adapt to this stressor, and it in turn makes you stronger.
Yeah.
Your
And-
mind.
yeah.
You're forcing your mind.
That's
to
the Lonnie
adapt to it.
Priest thing that I learned. That's our college coach. I always think about that. He's like, when the most growth comes is when you're uncomfortable. Like, make yourself
He
uncomfortable.
was the man.
Mm-hmm.
I liked
and,
him a
and
lot.
I've always held that one piece. He said a lot of cool things and very motivational guy, but that one thing always stuck with me. And now that you guys are relating the cold shower to that, like putting your body through almost this like trauma, that it's making you stronger. That's I never thought about that.
And
at all,
the-
but
like the-
It makes sense. It
Dude,
totally
it
makes
seems
sense.
to make sense.
The
yeah.
after effects are euphoric, bro. They're
Really?
so good. Yeah, you feel amazing,
well-
especially at nighttime too. Because I do it in the morning and then at nighttime. If you do
So
it at
your
night,
only showers. You don't take any more hot showers.
no. Let me tell you. I should talk about.
It's like every once in a while, it's still
So-
like a hot one.
I was thinking about writing a blog post about this or like an article in my email about like cold interval hot,
Okay.
like hot cold intervals, right? So you start the shower hot, do your shower, whatever, and at the end of it, you say,
Yeah.
"Fuck it, I'm going," and you just duck
Doing it.
down and
Shock
just let
your-
it hit
shock
your
your
chest,
body.
your legs, and you just sit there. And you focus on your breathing. Okay, you do as much as you possibly can, and then you go back to hot, and you just sit there. Oh, okay, and you do it again
Yeah.
until you get up to 3 minutes.
I've done.
That's right. And then you build up to it until you say,
It's
like,
hard stuff.
"I'm gonna go in there," and that's it. But
Gotta psych yourself up too.
Yeah.
I gotta get ready.
it's
About to
just
turn
like
to cold.
it's
You're
about to
like in
do-
the
you're-
cold. You're like, I can't do this. I can't do this.
Get me out of this.
It's it sucks. It sucks. But the thing about Wim Hof that's fucking crazy that no one seems to want to talk about, and I don't mean to go morbid here, but his wife committed suicide.
Okay.
And he talks about the story very in depth. She kissed her kids goodbye, and she jumped 8 floors, and there I was over her dead body on the ground. And it's very like, oh my
Sounds
God.
exactly-
So like,
really, it's a great impersonation.
Really?
it sounds just like
Yeah,
him, right?
yeah, it's a great impersonation.
I was laying over. She kissed her kids goodbye. Like it's so animated. Imagine though, like,
It's
like
a terrible story. We're laughing.
Okay,
at it.
I know.
Yeah, no,
but
it's
I'm
awful.
laughing
It's
at
the
him.
impression. Yeah, that's what we're laughing about, people. We're sensitive to this lady dying.
But no, hold on. There's a point here because Wim Hof, his reality was so thrown upside down. And like this, he talks about depression and how she couldn't handle it anymore. His, kids and a wife and everything happy and whatever, thrown upside down. And that becomes your reality. Like, my wife is now gone and she killed herself. And because his
crazy.
reality was so deep like that, now
Yeah.
he's able to do whatever the fuck he's got to do with his mind because nothing could withstand any worse
It
than
can't be
what
worse
that
than that.
was.
Yeah.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So like
Mm-hmm.
that's huge. Human beings are very, very interesting, complex fucking beings.
Yeah.
And the mind is so much more powerful than we even understand it to be.
Yeah.
And a guy like Wim Hof is showing what we're capable of through all these records, through walking through Antarctica with his shirt off, and just being in a cold tub for 15 minutes is nothing to that guy. In college we used to do it at 50 degrees, which is nothing. These guys do it at like
What was
37, 35 degrees. Yeah, we're at 50 degrees,
50.
bro.
Okay,
50.
that's what the ice bath
That's
used to
it.
be. And what was it? He's at what now?
36.
Isn't it like freezing's 32? I mean, this motherfucker's sitting.
They go down 36, 37. That's what they do it at. And then also like sauna therapy too. Like going back and forth to the hot and cold is very good for the nervous system.
Okay.
Very good. So, but like you're talking about a guy super intense like that. That's why I also think it's very important to like in meditation to like have those exercises. Like sometimes I take my brain to a thought of like, what if my life was completely flipped upside down? And then like in my head, I go around what
Deal
that would
with
be
it.
like.
Yeah.
What would it feel like if, and I generate those emotions because the body doesn't know the difference, whether you're in that state or you're not. You're generating it by itself, and those exercises are super important to go to. And then when you come out of those meditations and you realize, shit, this is what my life is right now, no matter what bullshit's going on, the feelings of gratitude come because you realize, oh my God, dude, I fucking love this person in my life. I love that person. I love what I'm doing right now.
Yeah.
I'm grateful for these things right now. No matter how shitty it is, because one day it could turn really fucking crazy, like the COVID. Like no one would have expected this monkey wrench thrown. We all had it
I
just.
think it was a bat wrench. I think it was a.
It's
a
fucking
bat.
weird, and we still got that ripple effect, and that's what when things happen, there's a ripple effect always in a bunch of different directions. So I don't know, like it's interesting what he's uncovering when it comes to the
Hell
breath
yeah.
work and nasal breathing too. Like, did you ever read that book Breath by James Nestor?
No.
They talk about don't do the breathing from the mouth as much and do slower, more controlled breathing through the nostrils. And less breathing. They say we breathe too much, and the mouth breathing makes our jaws shrink, and the airways like have issues going up and down. So then blood is not distributed evenly and it's
Weird.
fluidly. So going back to more nasal breathing is way more beneficial for blood circulation and energy levels. It's unreal. And then your jaw opens up or your throat opens up a little bit more, and you have like wider airways for like
Yeah.
oxygen to go through. But like
It's more efficient. Than
yeah. And like, you've heard when we're running in through the nose,
Yeah.
out through the mouth. But
Yeah.
they say like if you can train through the nose only, then like your cardiovascular capacity in training goes up like astronomically.
Yeah.
If you can just train yourself to go through your nose in training, and then when you're doing your event or game or whatever, then you can kind of just like breathe how you need to breathe in order
Yeah.
to do what you got to do. But in training, if you can do that,
Yeah.
it's a little bit more beneficial. But like again, how do we know what we know?
Yeah.
There would be information
Yeah.
completely contradictory to what I'm fucking saying.
Right.
A lot of it's anecdotal. A lot of it is trial and error. A lot of it's paying attention to pattern as trainers. Like you see it over and over and over in your clients and your athletes and all these people. And it's like, oh, there's something to this.
Yeah, but do you think too that like the way you think and your mindset is, because like I feel like I'm on like the same wavelength as you, like the way you kind of talk about things or certain topics.
I think
I'm curious to know, like, if you have, being that way, if you have run into issues with like your personal life, with family members, or like being an entrepreneur, right? Like, it's so important to take care of yourself mentally, spiritually, emotionally.
Yeah.
And if you're into certain things like this, it's not, a lot of people look at it different.
yeah, 100%. And
They don't know about it. They're not educated. They're not aware of it. So like, how do you handle that animosity or like those differences when people are like, huh?
Yeah, I mean, it's a great question. I mean, there are plenty like with family and particularly because like I work and I push and I take risks and
Right.
I think about things from a lot of different angles and I try to do my best to help my family and friends, but like there's a certain amount that they can take before you have to like back the fuck off. And like you can bring a horse to water, but you can't force them to drink type thing. And like I believe that too. And you can totally wear out your welcome. And I've learned my lessons, and I'm still continue to learn my lessons because I'm aggressive. I'm passionate. Like I like what I talk
that's
about.
what I'm saying.
You know
like,
what I'm
some
saying?
people get
Like stand up about
intimidated
that,
by
yeah.
it, or they're like,
And I've
You're
had
too
to.
much for me.
yeah.
I've
A lot
had
of
to,
people
like-
aren't passionate about any what they do,
Yeah.
so they don't understand if you.
Why is this guy still in high energy?
And you're just like about
Yeah.
something, and
Yeah.
they're just like, well, I don't feel less way about anything, so
yeah.
screw this
Just
guy.
that,
How
yeah.
dare he be super
Yeah.
jacked about
Yeah.
anything?
The
even
jealousy thing, I
Yeah, and
think,
even
from
if
at
what
some
you're
point.
saying sounds cool and interesting and makes sense, it's like they're just gonna immediately be against it because they're almost annoyed that you're like happy about something.
Right.
right.
Totally, yeah.
It's
How
fucking
do we go
crazy
deeper
dichotomy.
into that conversation? Because I think it's such a like,
Let's keep going with it. Let's just keep like pulling it back.
Well, you exercise because that makes you feel better about yourself. And when
Yeah.
you feel better
There
about
we
yourself,
go, that's
you're
good,
more
too.
open to
Now you're
other
talking.
people's
That's very
thoughts
true,
and-
though.
Here's the biggest thing
Yeah.
that I've uncovered really. Like I can't tell anybody what to do and I never will, right?
Right.
But as a practitioner, as a trainer, that's why I asked you about the questions. You could always ask questions and set up better questions for folks to have their own cathartic moments. Realization, if you
Yeah.
will, right? And
Epiphanies.
maybe it doesn't happen in that moment, but it happens later on because they're conversing with you, they're talking to you, you're giving them information about what you've learned over your course of your career, about the nervous system, about this, about that, right? But at the end of the day, they got to make the decision.
Yeah.
They got to come
They
to
gotta
the
come to that
actual
realization of
conclusion.
it, yeah.
And like, you can't do anything about it. You can only be there to scaffold and assist. So what I find is really helpful is just ask questions. And sometimes they come to it, and if they do, and it helps out their life and the way they live and their relationships or whatever, then great. If not, then I'm upset sometimes personally that like my friendship relationships aren't as strong as they once were. Like I have priorities and I have goals and I want to make a mega brand. I just do. I'm gonna. There's no one's gonna fucking stop me. Like I'm just like I see the vision.
Yeah.
I feel passionately and strongly about what my mission and my voice, and it's definitely morphing over time. But I'm sad that like
you lost some people.
yeah, I am. I'm losing them along
It
the way.
happens.
And
That's
it's
right.
true. It's true. And that's what I'm learning, and it sucks, but it is what it is. And maybe you reconnect, but like
You grow
people,
apart.
You grow
It's
apart.
Stuff you were saying. I mean, it's like who you surround yourself with. It's like that does change your mood. And if
Yes.
certain people got different goals and values and stuff than what you got going, that's you
So
probably
be it.
shouldn't be hanging.
So
out
how
all
do
the
you hang out, or how do you handle those challenges when your energy is maybe very passionate, enthusiastic, high vibes, and then you maybe in certain situations, right, whether it be work, at home, family life, friendship group, how do you handle those situations where you're like, oh, this is getting so like hard to be
So you have
around?
to be conscious of it and put yourself through it. I mean,
Know who you're talking to.
yeah,
If you're talking to somebody who's super passionate about something else, you know they're gonna appreciate your passion about your thing. Even
Yeah.
though if you're talking to someone who's kind of
Who's
a
doesn't
stick
have
in the
much?
mud,
Yeah.
who's kind of a mope and
Yeah.
you know
Don't-
whatever, then maybe you save the happy sunshine for somebody else. Because
But isn't that it's just a unfortunate
It
thing,
does.
right? I don't know.
No, absolutely.
Pick your battles. You know, when I was a teacher, it was like, do you really want to go into that with that kid? You know where it's going.
Yeah.
So it's like,
Right.
do you want to spend your creative energy, your restful healing energy, wasted on somebody that's just like, they're just not going to get it? And that's okay. It's okay.
Yeah.
It's totally fine. And it's, if anything, it's a problem with our internal state that we have a problem with. They don't want to hear me. So it's our fault. It's our problem now.
Right.
You know, so in that case, like, it's a lost cause, or find another angle to go about it. If it really is that important to you, or that person is, and you really want to strike up that conversation, I struggle with that myself. Like, I can't tell you that I got an answer, but at the end of the day, I'll tell you the truth. And I'm glad that you're listening to me, guys, because it does make me feel sad that I've grown apart from some like high school friends that I really care about.
Yeah.
You know, I really care about them.
Yeah.
And it sucks. And I want to spend more time with them, but whatever.
Well, you meet new friends and people that have similar interests, and and those people end up motivating you.
Yeah.
People that have been motivating us here at Bonfire Banter, JPL Property Services, More Brewing Company. They've been giving us some delicious beers. We really appreciate that. Mike's and Casey's Meat Market. They're going to be sponsoring a show for us here soon with Matt Cassane. He's the Chris Farley impersonator. We're doing our version of Superfans, like the Bears guys from SNL.
he's coming back on.
He's coming back on to do that. And Mike's and Casey's Meat Markets are sponsoring us with all the meat that night.
Wow.
So Jordan's going to cook it all up, do a bunch of brats and stuff.
All
It's gonna be a
because
cool
you
one.
started a podcast.
Hell yeah.
So do you
date is that?
invite
I
all
might
of
just-
us back for that?
You guys could come. You're more than
Still?
welcome. It's on May 29th. I don't know. I gotta look
Memorial
at the
Day
schedule.
It's the
weekend?
day before my wedding.
No, it's not. May 29th. It's
I might have to be at my
No,
rehearsal
it's not. That's the reason we moved it. It's actually the Sunday before that. It's the 22nd.
Okay.
It's the Sunday before your wedding. It's the
There we go.
22nd. Because it was supposed to be on yours, and then I saw the date of it, and I'm like, we got to move that episode around. So you're always more than welcome. Anyone that's ever been on the panel to come back here and hang out, and if you want to jump back on, we're a family. Now you guys are part of the Bonfire
Sweet.
Banter
Oh,
family.
nice.
So you're always welcome to come back out and come eat on that night. York Furrier, we mentioned them a little earlier. Really appreciate you guys. We got to figure something else out now that it's not cold. As the raccoon skin hat, it makes me sweat on film, and then you could see me sweating. So I don't want to. I'm sorry, guys. I can't keep wearing it. It's getting warmer out now. But we do appreciate it. So thank you for your continued support. And then Jay and Jill Create. Jay, we haven't seen you in a little while. I hope you're doing well, brother. We are doing that tattoo episode in July. We got to take a look at that. I'm going to get a tattoo live. So that's going to be
First
good.
one? Or
No,
like-
I got two from him. I just got the script on my arm. And
What are you getting?
I'm going to do a big color piece on my shoulder, high up, so you can't see it on a polo.
Nice.
But it's going to be my daughter's name on a banner with a rose that's going to have a bunch of color in it, and then two peacock feathers kind of flanking it.
Justin Peacock,
Cool.
that's right.
And her name is Olivia Rose Peacock. So it's going to be her name on a banner, a rose, and two peacock feathers.
Oh, I
It's
like that.
going to be a little bit of my grandma's, like a little memorial to her built into the peacock feathers.
Nice.
Too, so.
Nice.
Yeah, there's a couple different things there. So some exciting stuff we got going on here on Bonfire Banter. So keep tuning in, keep liking, keep subscribing. Really appreciate all the support. Thank you, Colin. Plug your company one more time. Tell us where it's at.
We're the Rough House. We're in downtown Lombard. We do in-person, one-on-one partner training. We're getting the group training going, getting back the going
Soon
of
here,
that. Probably end of this month, beginning of next month. We also do an online at-home do-it-yourself program.
Oh, cool.
And we do Zoom
Nice.
sessions as well. Mention Bonfire Banner. Get a session free.
Hell yeah. Now we're talking. I put you guys on the spot over here.
Nice.
So thanks again. Third time out on the show. And this first time he hasn't been beaten by the weather.
I
so
haven't all these trees and things.
Yeah,
I
you're like,
didn't see
wow.
before. There's grass.
look at this. Yeah.
Like I said, I flew by the house
Yeah.
because I don't recognize it without
It looks
being
very
covered in
different.
snow. I had to double back.
And then Stephanie Credidio, thank you for coming back out.
Of course.
Plug yourself one more time and tell us your
All
business,
right,
your fitness
yes.
stuff.
So I got a few things going on,
Yeah,
but
plug 'em all.
mostly you can find me anywhere at Socially Steph. I do social media management, content production. Then I'm also a fitness trainer myself.
Cool.
If you mention Bonfield Banter,
Yeah, what do we get?
what are we getting? I don't know. A couple free tweets
Free-
or something.
Free hashtag.
Yeah.
So yeah, free hashtag.
I like something you post. I like that. Yeah.
That's worth it.
And then Mr. Danny Colapietro. Thank you again.
yeah.
Plug your stuff.
thanks for having me. I think
Absolutely.
this is awesome. I'm proud of you. I think this is great.
Thank you. I
a lot
appreciate
of hard
it,
work.
brother.
So kudos, man. Danny Cola Fitness is my Instagram.
Okay.
You can check out my gym in Uptown Park Ridge. It's Underground Fitness Studio, which is in the basement of the Chase Bank
Literally
building.
underground.
Uptown.
Makes sense now. Okay, it's all
Yeah,
coming
it's
around.
underground. It's
Yeah.
it's in a basement. It's great.
It's a cool name though. I
Thank
like
you.
it.
Thank you. And we specialize in one-on-one group sessions, athlete optimization, youth training with physical therapists. We also do street defense and striking classes, functional strength and conditioning. We do online programs, mentioned Bonfire Banter and Justin Peacock. And you'll get a consultation. Grazie.
Perfect. I love this. Okay. I will also want to say thank you to Erin and check her out on Facebook on her thing called that's a meal prepping and fitness ideas. I wrote it down and I still can't read it now.
kinda dark. Fitness idea. I can't see that.
Damn cheat sheet failed you. You don't like it?
You need the binding cheat sheet.
Damn it. So keep tuning in one more time to Basement Boys. Thank you guys for your continued support as
Thank
well.
you, Basement Boys.
Yeah, they're a group of guys that gave us some money, guys we went to high school with.
They can
Gave
be
us some
the
money to do it.
underground guys,
Yeah,
too.
they could be the that's all makes sense. It's all underground. Bonfire Banter. We'll see you very soon. Signing out.
All right. Nice job.
Good job, guys. Thank
That
you
was
so
great.
much.
What a fun.
Appreciate it.
That was fun.
Bonfire Banter. We want to give a special shout out to all of our sponsors. Since day one, York Furrier has been helping us out, supporting us on social media, gave us some fantastic hats. What could be better than that? Keep me warm all winter long around this fire. Since 1931, they've been a locally owned and operated purveyor of exceptional furs, fine outerwear, and unique accessories. Check them out in downtown Elmhurst on York Road. The finest fur establishment, furry, that you're going to find anywhere in Chicagoland area. That's where the stars are going when they're filming in Chicago. They're going to York Furrier. So check them out. Thanks again for all your support. More Brewing Company. Big thank you to them. They've been letting us try some of their amazing craft beers. They're out in Huntley as their main establishment with most of their brewing equipment on Auto Mall Drive. You can also check them out in Villa Park on Villa. My new favorite beer is actually by them, Partially Cloudy. So thank you so much for turning me on to this one, and thanks for your support, More Brewing Company. If you're looking for unique craft beers and artfully crafted food, go check them out. Again, supporting local business is what this is all about right now. JPL Property Services, keeping us warm around the fire with that full face cord. Thank you so much to Jim for dropping that off. If you're looking for anything from landscaping to snow removal, look no further. Jim will get you taken care of. JPL Property Services. Check them out on Facebook. And lastly, Jay and Jill Create. That's our art director, Jay. Jay and Jill Create. Pretty much print you anything you want. T-shirts, mugs, ornaments, gifts, whatever you're looking for. If you're looking for something creative, give them a call. Jay and Jill Create. Check them out on Facebook as well. As always, thank you to all of our sponsors. And here's to us, hoping we can get a few more. Bonfire Banter. We'll see you soon.